On a dark, quiet night in the Philippines, there's something enchanting in the air, a feeling that hangs thick like the mist in the mountains. A distant whisper of ancient legends, the murmurs of unseen spirits moving through the trees, and the tales that are woven into every shadow and every glimmer of moonlight. For generations, these stories have been passed from one person to the next, wrapping around each family like a sacred bond, creating a world where mythical creatures aren't just stories, they are protectors, mischief makers, and even threats. They're as much a part of life as the oceans and forests that surround the islands. The Filipino culture holds these mythical creatures close, like long-lost relatives who linger near, whispering, watching, and sometimes warning. Each creature comes with its own personality, its own strengths and fears, and its own reason for being remembered. To this day, grandmothers share these tales with their grandchildren by the fire, speaking in hushed tones that make even the bravest child shiver. Parents tell these tales to guide their children's behavior, or to remind them to respect the invisible world that lives alongside our own. These creatures aren't hidden in the past, they exist in the hearts and minds of the people today. One of the most terrifying creatures, the Aswang, creeps through these tales, striking fear in the hearts of those who hear about her. The Aswang is said to be a shapeshifter, able to change from human to beast. Her story is whispered with caution, her name spoken with care. Mothers warn their children not to wander off too far, especially in the evening, for the Aswang is always on the prowl, seeking out those who stray. Some believe she feasts on fear, and that the very act of fearing her keeps her alive. But she is not merely a monster. The Aswang teaches caution and respect, a reminder that danger and darkness exist, even in the familiar corners of our world. Then there's the gentle yet misunderstood copper, a giant who dwells among the trees, especially the towering balit, or banyan trees, that are revered in Filipino culture. The copper is often seen smoking a large cigar, its warm ember a beacon in the night for those who dare to look. Despite his size, he is a creature of peace, known more for playing tricks than causing harm. Children are told to ask permission before climbing certain trees, to say a silent greeting to the copper to avoid upsetting him. He represents the soul of the forest, a guardian of the trees, and a reminder of the connection between people and nature. Many believe that the copper enjoys his solitude, preferring to live quietly, almost shyly, in the shadows of the jungle. His story is one of respect for nature and its mysteries, reminding the people to tread lightly in the places where the trees grow thick and the air grows still. Some say he's lonely, and there are tales of those who have glimpsed him, only to feel an overwhelming urge to comfort the giant with a simple greeting. Others tell of encounters where the copper warns people of danger, showing his protective side, his presence both a mystery and a reassurance. And then, in the soft mounds of earth and tiny anthills that dot the countryside, lives the Nuno sa Punso. This small, elderly being guards his home fiercely, a figure of small stature but great power. Children are taught to never kick or disturb an anthill, lest they provoke the Nuno's wrath. Those who offend him may find themselves cursed with ailments that only an apology or an offering can cure. Some might see him as a tiny tyrant, demanding respect for his home, but he's more than that. He's a guardian of boundaries, a reminder to tread carefully in the places that belong to others. His story is one of humility, teaching people that even the smallest creatures deserve respect. The Tikbalang, with his long legs and horse-like head, is a creature of strange beauty and even stranger humor. He's known to trick travelers, leading them in circles through the forests until they're hopelessly lost. His laughter, they say, echoes through the trees as he watches them wander. But there is a secret to escaping his mischief. If a traveler remembers to turn their clothes inside out, the spell is broken, and they find their way home. The Tikbalang, in his own mischievous way, encourages the people to always stay alert and think quickly. His presence, both frightening and playful, adds mystery to the wild lands of the Philippines. For centuries, the creatures of Filipino mythology have been more than stories. They are teachers, protectors, and companions, showing people how to live with nature and respect what they cannot see. They teach humility, courage, and the need to find peace with the unknown. They warn against arrogance, they laugh at human folly, and they remind us that, as humans, we are not alone. In Filipino culture, these mythical beings are not just legends, but part of the family, and their stories are passed down like a cherished heirloom, binding one generation to the next with threads of awe and wonder. To this day, it's said that if you walk through the Philippine countryside, you can feel the presence of these beings watching over you. A rustle in the trees, a flicker of light, a sudden chill in the air, each might be a gentle nudge from a creature of the old tales. Some people still leave offerings at the foot of a great tree for the copper, or sprinkle salt at their doors to keep the Aswang away. Others pray to unseen forces for protection when walking through thick forests or approaching mounds of earth. These actions, though subtle, carry with them a deep respect for the unseen, a reverence for the spirits that the modern world has not been able to fully erase. The mythical creatures of the Philippines hold an unbreakable bond with the people. They are woven into the fabric of daily life, finding their way into stories, songs, even the dances and festivals that bring communities together. They remind the people to respect nature, to honor boundaries, to fear and admire the unknown. These beings represent a blend of light and darkness, showing that life itself is a balance, a dance between seen and unseen forces. To know these mythical creatures is to understand the spirit of the Philippines, to feel the weight and beauty of a history that is both magical and profoundly human. There is a power in these stories, a reminder that there is more to life than what we see, that something ancient and wise exists in the forests, the mountains, and the quiet mounds of earth. In every Filipino heart, the spirits of these creatures live on, calling them to remember, to listen, and to believe. Long before foreign ships found their way to the shores of the Philippines, there was a world alive with spirits, a world where people looked at the sky, the mountains, and the sea with awe and reverence. The land itself seemed to breathe, carrying within it tales whispered by winds that swept across the rice fields and rivers. These stories spoke of a powerful bond between the people and the forces they could feel but never quite see, a belief in the spirits and creatures who moved unseen but close by, watching over or, at times, warning those who dared cross into the unknown. In those early days, every mountain, river, and forest had its own spirit. People believed that the towering mountains were the homes of gods, that rivers flowed with the presence of ancestral spirits, and that trees, especially the ancient, twisted ones, held within them beings older than memory. When people entered the forest or climbed a hill, they would whisper a greeting or ask permission. To them, nature wasn't just a landscape, it was alive and brimming with energies, both protective and vengeful, both gentle and fierce. Every child was raised to understand this, to respect what they could not touch, and to honor what they could not see. In the warmth of a fire's glow, elders would gather their families close, recounting the origins of their world and the beings who shaped it. These stories weren't just tales to pass the time, they were sacred truths, passed down through generations like an inheritance, binding each person to their ancestors and the land around them. The voices of the elders trembled with the weight of their words as they described the strength of Bathala, the supreme deity, whose very breath gave life to the islands. They spoke of deities like Lakapati, goddess of fertility and nurturer of the fields, and Amihan, the gentle northeast wind who would bring rains and cool the sweltering air. The world of those ancient times was alive with meaning, and every event, every change in nature, had a story, a reason, a spirit behind it. If the sun blazed too hot and scorched the fields, it was a sign that the spirits were angry. If the rains came in abundance, it meant the spirits were pleased. There was a deep connection between the people and these forces. They lived in harmony, listening to the land, honoring its moods, and offering gifts to keep the balance. A piece of fruit left at the base of a tree, a small carving set on a rock by the river, an extra portion of rice cast into the fire. Each gift was a quiet conversation with the beings who kept watch over them. In this world, there was no line between the sacred and the everyday. A morning spent planting rice was not just work, it was an act of gratitude to Lakapati, a request for her blessing over the crops. When a fisherman cast his net into the sea, he whispered a prayer to the spirits of the water, seeking their favor and protection. And when a hunter entered the forest, he moved softly, taking only what he needed, aware that spirits dwelled in every shadow, that the eyes of unseen beings might be upon him. Respect for nature was not a choice, it was a way of life, woven into the fabric of each moment. Storytelling became the heartbeat of the community, the bridge that connected young and old. Through these tales, the people learned of their ancestors' courage and struggles, of battles fought with beasts and spirits, and of the wisdom that guided them. No story was told without purpose. Each one carried a lesson, a warning, or a truth about the world. The stories were like threads in a grand tapestry, binding each generation to those who had come before, reminding everyone of their place in the world, their duties, and the unseen forces that protected or punished. These tales were never written down. Instead, they lived in the memories of the storytellers, held like fragile treasures in the minds of those who would pass them on. Children would listen with wide eyes, their imaginations painting vivid pictures of the spirits that roamed the mountains, the gods who danced in the rain, and the creatures who hid in the dark forests. Each story was alive, breathing through the voice of the teller, becoming real in the minds of those who heard it. And with every retelling, the stories grew richer, deeper, more colorful, adapting slightly but always staying true to their essence. In this way, the wisdom of countless generations flowed like a river, carrying with it the hopes, fears, and dreams of the people. But these beliefs were not only shared in whispers and stories, they were carved into daily life, into the very way people existed. Rituals were common and vital, ways of keeping the spirits close and keeping ill fortune at bay. Before a new home was built, offerings would be made to ask for the blessing of the spirits who dwelled in the land. During harvest, the people would sing songs of gratitude, their voices rising into the sky, thanking the spirits for their kindness and asking for their continued protection. Even in times of illness, when sickness cast its shadow, the people would turn to the spirits, seeking healing through prayers and offerings. Every ritual, every prayer, was a thread that bound the people to the spirits, a reminder that they were never alone in the world. When a child was born, elders would hold special ceremonies, asking the spirits to bless and protect the newborn, to watch over the child as they grew, guiding them on the right path. Death, too, was marked with rituals, as the people believed that the spirit of the departed would linger, needing guidance to find peace. In every stage of life, from birth to death, the spirits walked alongside, invisible but ever present, shaping each moment with their mysterious influence. And so, through these customs, beliefs, and stories, the people's lives were intertwined with the unseen, with forces older than memory and as vast as the skies. To them, mythology was not a distant or fictional thing. It was the pulse of their lives, the rhythm of their days. It was a source of strength, a reminder of humility, and a constant call to respect the mysteries that lay just beyond the veil of the ordinary. Each person carried these beliefs within them like a compass, a guide that showed them the beauty, danger, and wonder of the world they called home. The people of those ancient days lived in a world where everything held meaning, where every tree and mountain held a spirit, and where every story connected them to something larger, something sacred. This was their legacy, a heritage of reverence and awe, a life spent in communion with the land, the skies, and the mysteries that lay hidden within them. The myths were more than stories. They were a sacred understanding passed from heart to heart, a reminder that magic lay just beyond the edge of the everyday. The sun rose on the shores of the Philippines, casting its gentle light over the islands, just as it had for centuries. But one morning, this light carried something new, a fleet of ships, sails billowing, bringing with them strangers who would forever change the way of life and the beliefs held close by the people. These strangers came with new languages, strange clothes, and, most of all, a powerful faith of their own. They brought crosses and Bibles, symbols of a religion the people had never known, and with them, they brought a determination to reshape the world they had found. Before these visitors arrived, the people of the Philippines held fast to a world rich with gods, spirits, and creatures that inhabited every part of their lives. These beings were as real as the earth and sky, and everyone felt their presence like an ever-present heartbeat. But the arrival of the Spanish disrupted this delicate balance, a force so strong that even the spirits seemed to retreat in its wake. The people watched as churches rose where once sacred groves had stood, and as statues of saints replaced offerings to Bathala, the supreme deity they had worshipped for generations. In place of spirits, there were now angels and saints. In place of their gods, there was a single God whose face was foreign but whose power could not be denied. Spanish missionaries, armed with a fierce devotion to spread their faith, did not just speak of God and Christ. They condemned the ancient beliefs, calling the spirits evil and labeling the old gods false idols. These words cut deep into the hearts of the people, shaking the roots of their understanding. Suddenly, the beings that had been protectors, guardians, and wise teachers were cast into shadow, seen as something dangerous, something to fear and reject. The people were told that the spirits they had once honored with offerings and whispered greetings were not their friends but their enemies, luring them into darkness. And yet, in the quiet places, where the Spanish could not reach, the people held on to pieces of their old beliefs. They whispered the names of the spirits in secret, tucked amulets into their clothing, and left small offerings hidden behind rocks and trees. They found ways to weave their gods and their old spirits into the new faith that was forced upon them, blending Catholicism with the traditions of their ancestors. In churches, they prayed to the saints with the same reverence they had once shown for their ancient gods, seeing in each saint a familiar spirit, a protector that understood their needs, their fears, their hopes. In this new world of faith and fear, even the Aswang, once a feared shapeshifter of legend, took on new meaning. The Aswang became a symbol of the dark forces the missionaries warned against, a creature no longer connected to nature but to sin, a reminder of what lay outside the bounds of the church. Yet the people still told the stories of the Aswang, whispering them as warnings to children, as a reminder of the spirits that had watched over them long before crosses hung from their necks. The Aswang, once a force of mystery and caution, became a tool to remind the people of good and evil, light and shadow, the seen and the unseen. Over time, the people grew familiar with this blending of beliefs, making a space where saints and spirits could live side by side. Bathala, the God of all, found a new face in the image of God, and people saw in Jesus the spirit of a protector who sacrificed himself out of love. In this way, they created a faith of their own, one that honored the past even as it welcomed the future. The copper, the great tree-dwelling giant, was no longer seen as just a protector of the forest, but as a quiet guardian who allowed his people to carry on their traditions in secret, unseen by the eyes of the church. For the people, the copper became a hidden ally, one who watched in silence, understanding the need for both old and new. As the years passed, these stories continued to blend, becoming something unique and powerful. The people did not see themselves as abandoning their beliefs. Instead, they found ways to carry their ancestors with them. They created their own saints, drawing upon the spirits of their ancestors, and in their prayers to the Virgin Mary, they saw the face of the goddess Lakapati, nurturer and giver of life. Their songs of worship, though now directed to the saints, still carried the rhythms of their old chants, and their festivals, celebrating the saints, looked very much like the ancient rituals that honored their gods. These celebrations were filled with dancing, laughter, and gratitude, a blend of Catholic reverence and the joy that came from honoring the land and the spirits within it. When the Americans arrived, they brought yet another shift, emphasizing modern education and Western values. They encouraged the people to look to science and reason, to see mythology as a thing of the past, a collection of superstitions that held no place in the modern world. But the people of the Philippines had already woven their beliefs into the fabric of their lives, creating a tapestry too strong to unravel. While schools taught them that the stories of the Aswang, the copper, and the Nuno Sa Punso were merely tales, these beings remained alive in their hearts, their homes, and their secret prayers. The people had grown strong in their ability to hold two worlds together. They honored the saints, went to church, and celebrated Christian holidays with devotion, yet, in the quiet moments, they still left offerings for the spirits, still prayed to the unseen beings that had watched over them for centuries. They had learned to keep their traditions alive in ways that would not draw the attention of those who would seek to erase them. In each act of faith, there was a hidden meaning, a connection to their ancestors, a silent reverence for the gods, spirits, and creatures that still walked among them. And so, even as centuries passed, the stories never faded. They lived on in the hearts of the people, in the whispered tales shared at night, in the quiet offerings left on lonely paths, in the flicker of candles lit in memory of both saints and spirits. For the people, their beliefs were not something to give up, but something to carry forward, adapting and changing but never disappearing. The spirits may have been renamed, their roles changed, but they still watched over their people, just as they always had. In a world where they had been told to forget, the people remembered, and in that remembrance, they found strength, identity, and a bridge between the world of the past and the world of the present. In the heart of every Filipino community, stories flow like rivers, binding people to one another, connecting each generation to those who came before. But these are no ordinary stories. They pulse with life, shimmering with meaning and values that give shape to the soul of a people. The mythical creatures of the Philippines, though cloaked in mystery and magic, represent more than supernatural beings. They embody the ideals, the fears, and the hopes of a people bound deeply to the land, each other, and the spirit of their ancestors. The copper, a towering, cigar-smoking giant who lives in ancient trees, is feared by some, respected by all, and understood by the wise. He watches quietly, his presence a reminder to tread with care and respect. The copper is a protector, but also a being who commands respect. For those who fail to honor the land, who hunt without thought, or destroy with reckless abandon, the copper waits, his heavy breath blending with the rustling leaves. He teaches that nature, so easy to take for granted, is not ours to harm. He reminds everyone to respect the ancient roots from which they come, and his spirit breathes in the hearts of those who understand that stewardship of the land is a duty, not an option. In a world where so much changes so quickly, the copper stands tall, unyielding, a symbol of patience and reverence for all that is sacred. Then there's the Aswang, whose very name can silence a crowd, sending chills down even the bravest spines. Often depicted as a shapeshifter, she embodies the night, mystery, and fear, yet she is more than a monster. The Aswang is also a warning, a creature whose story is told to remind people of the consequences of cruelty and broken trust. In many communities, people speak of her in whispers, using her story to teach children and adults alike to stay honest, to honor their commitments, and to protect the bonds of family. Though frightening, the Aswang's tale holds a powerful truth: trust and kindness are sacred, and to betray them is to summon darkness. Beneath the shimmering waves lives the Sirena, a beautiful yet haunting figure with a voice that can lure even the most steadfast into the depths of the sea. Her beauty is as dangerous as it is enchanting, a symbol of temptation and longing. The Sirena serves as a reminder of life's dualities, beauty and peril, desire and destruction. To the people of coastal villages, she is more than a story. She is a presence that reminds them of the mysteries of the ocean, a world that can provide as easily as it can take. Her tale is passed from mother to daughter, father to son, as a warning against being swept away by illusions, a lesson in seeing beyond surface beauty to understand the depths beneath. In the shadows of rice fields and hills lurks the Tikbalang, half man, half horse, known to lead travelers astray in the wilderness. Some see him as a trickster, while others respect him as a guardian of wild places. To the people, the Tikbalang is both a lesson and a guide, one that warns against arrogance and encourages humility. His pranks, his elusive presence, remind travelers to tread with humility, to understand that not every path is theirs to conquer. Elders tell his story to the young, teaching them to respect the unknown, to approach life's journeys with reverence. In his spirit, there is wisdom, a message to those who wander too boldly, urging them to remember that not every path is made to be traveled, not every mystery meant to be solved. And in the quiet places, the Nuno Sa Punso waits, a tiny spirit who lives in the earth, guarding it fiercely. He appears harmless, small and ancient, yet he commands respect that belies his size. Those who disturb his mound are met with illness or misfortune, a message that speaks to the heart of the Filipino people's bond with the land. The Nuno is a gentle guardian, but his story teaches that all actions have consequences, that to harm the earth is to harm oneself. Parents pass down the Nuno's tale, reminding children to tread carefully, to show respect for all creatures, no matter how small. Through the Nuno, they learn that even the humblest beings deserve reverence, that kindness is a strength, and that the earth itself must be honored. These creatures are more than symbols, they are woven into daily life, into the way people see the world and their place within it. Each being embodies values that guide the heart, that whisper reminders of what is important: respect, humility, caution, and care. Communities come together to share these stories, to find in them a common language, a shared understanding that binds them. In festivals and gatherings, these creatures are brought to life, celebrated, honored, not merely as entertainment, but as expressions of who the people are. Through these myths, the people of the Philippines find strength, knowing that these stories are not just tales of the past, but living reminders that give meaning to the present. The creatures live in every lullaby, every tale told to a wide-eyed child, every festival that fills the streets with laughter and song. They remind each person of the strength in community, the value of shared history, and the power of culture to withstand even the most challenging of times. And in these stories, and the images of creatures half seen, half believed, they see themselves. For they, too, are a people of dualities, of strength and tenderness, of courage and caution. Just as the Tikbalang leads the bold astray, they know that sometimes the greatest wisdom is in knowing when to pause, when to listen to the winds that guide them. Just as the Nuno Sa Punso guards his humble mound, they stand ready to protect the earth, to care for the land that has held them for generations. The mythical creatures of the Philippines are not bound to ancient times. They are alive in the heartbeats of every community, in the stories that echo through generations. They remind each person to carry forward the values of their ancestors, to honor the stories, to respect the land, and to find strength in unity. And as long as the people tell their stories, as long as the names of the copper, the Aswang, the Sirena, and the Nuno Sa Punso are whispered with reverence, these creatures will never be forgotten. They will live on, guardians of a culture that holds tightly to its roots, even as it moves forward, one story at a time. On moonlit nights in Luzon, the air grows thick with something unseen, a quiet energy that stirs through the villages, drifting over fields and mountains. Those who know these nights understand the hushed whispers, the flickering lamps left in doorways, and the hurried footsteps as families gather close. Here, in the heart of Luzon, ancient tales linger, and mythical beings roam the edges of stories told in secret, reminders that the unknown often lies closer than we think. The Aswang, a name that sends chills down spines, is perhaps the most feared. A creature of many forms, she is no stranger to these northern lands. Some say she moves through the night as a shadow, slipping unseen through windows and doors. Others tell of her transformation, becoming a bird or a dark creature whose very presence drains warmth from the air. Her legend changes from village to village. In one town, she is a woman with the eyes of an owl, lurking at the edge of forests. In another, she is said to have long, sharp talons and eyes that burn red like embers in the night. To the people of Luzon, the Aswang is more than a tale. She is a warning that evil can take many shapes, that danger may hide behind even the gentlest faces. And yet, some say that those who know the right prayers, who carry amulets blessed by elders, can find protection. While the Aswang instills fear, the copper brings a different kind of shiver. Towering and silent, he is often seen sitting beneath massive balik trees, his glowing cigar illuminating his large, shadowed figure. The copper does not harm without cause, but his presence is unmistakable, a guardian of the forest who tolerates no disrespect. Farmers, hunters, and travelers tell stories of encountering him on quiet, misty nights, a giant whose gaze is heavy with age and patience. Those who trespass without honor feel his gaze upon them, and many have stumbled home, terrified, with tales of being followed by unseen footsteps, the faint scent of tobacco lingering in the air. For the people of Luzon, the copper is both feared and respected, and his story serves as a reminder to honor the land. In villages nestled near old forests, elders remind children never to point at the balik trees or cut them down recklessly, for the copper sees all, and his wrath is unkind to those who ignore his silent warnings. To keep him appeased, some leave offerings, betel nuts, tobacco, or even food, near the roots of his tree. They do so with quiet reverence, understanding that the copper's protection is as much a blessing as it is a warning. Luzon's northern regions speak of another spirit, the Tikbalang, a creature with the body of a man and the head of a horse, known for leading travelers astray. In the highlands, farmers and wanderers carry stories of the Tikbalang, warning against his mischievous ways. Those who have encountered him tell of paths that loop endlessly, of thick fogs that suddenly descend, swallowing familiar landmarks, making even the most experienced hikers lose their way. Some say the Tikbalang appears on misty mornings, standing at the edge of rice fields, his figure barely visible but unmistakably haunting. In these tales, he is neither good nor evil, only a reminder that not all paths should be traveled without respect. To escape his tricks, locals whisper simple rituals: turn your shirt inside out, say a respectful greeting to the forest, or carry a sprig of ginger. The Tikbalang's pranks are believed to be less about harm and more about reminding travelers to approach the wilderness with humility. And while his tricks are unsettling, he is seen as a protector of the mountains, ensuring that only those who truly understand the spirit of the land may pass through unharmed. In coastal regions, the Sirena, with her enchanting beauty and eerie song, is a tale shared by fishermen and seaside villagers alike. When the sea is calm and moonlit, they warn of her voice drifting over the waves, haunting and otherworldly. She is often described with flowing hair that glistens like the water, and a gaze that can hold anyone captive. Her beauty is enchanting but perilous, a lure for those who might venture too far from shore. Fishermen who have sailed into her waters return with stories of strange dreams, of nights filled with an irresistible pull to the sea, as if the Sirena herself were calling them. Mothers tell their children of her song, a melody that is both beautiful and full of sorrow. They warn their sons to stay close to shore, for the Sirena's call is not to be ignored. Yet, for all the danger she represents, some villagers say that she only appears to those who disrespect the ocean. Those who take without offering thanks, who pollute the water or ignore the spirit of the sea, are the ones who find themselves drawn into her depths. To those who honor the ocean, who take only what they need and offer their gratitude, the Sirena is a reminder of the ocean's beauty, a symbol of nature's power and mystery. Another tale less often spoken of, but known to many, is that of the Nuno sa Punso, a tiny spirit who dwells in mounds of earth scattered throughout fields and forests. Though small, he is known to be fiercely protective, quick to bring illness or misfortune to those who disturb his home. The people of Luzon hold great respect for the Nuno, stepping carefully around these mounds, warning children never to play near them. If someone does accidentally disturb his home, they must quickly apologize, placing a small offering on the mound in hopes of appeasing him. The Nuno's story is a quiet one, but his presence is woven into everyday life. He is a symbol of respect for even the smallest beings, a reminder that every part of the earth deserves reverence. In Luzon, people honor him not out of fear alone but out of a sense of humility, understanding that even the tiniest spirits play a role in the world's balance. Parents tell their children about him not just to keep them safe, but to teach them the values of respect and kindness toward all creatures. These beings of Luzon are more than mythical creatures, they are woven into the lives and identities of those who call this land home. The Aswang, Copper, Tikbalang, Sirena, and Nuno sa Punso are more than mere stories. They are guardians, teachers, and guides, each representing values held close by the people of Luzon. Through their tales, they remind each person of the importance of respect, of caution, of gratitude, and humility. They teach that nature, spirits, and the unknown are all worthy of reverence, that every path, forest, ocean, and field carries a life beyond what is seen. In Luzon, these mythical creatures keep the people grounded, reminding them of who they are and where they come from. And as long as their stories are told, these creatures will live on, not just as tales, but as symbols of the values that have shaped this land for centuries. The people carry them forward, a part of their heritage and identity, each story a thread connecting the past with the present, binding the people of Luzon to the land, to each other, and to the spirits who walk beside them, unseen but never forgotten. On quiet nights in the Visayas, when the sky stretches wide and starlit over towns and fields, the people gather close, glancing out at the shadows, each breath held in reverence and awe for the mysteries around them. The stories they carry are alive, whispered from one generation to the next. In these tales, the spirits of the Visayas come alive, each one as real and deeply felt as the earth beneath their feet, each woven into the lives and hearts of the people. The Manananggal is among the most feared and unforgettable of these spirits. A creature who lives like any other human by day, the Manananggal waits for the night to reveal her true nature, a terrifying creature whose upper body detaches from her legs, wings sprouting as she rises into the air. As she hunts, villagers leave garlic and salt on windowsills, muttering quiet prayers to keep her at bay. For many, the Manananggal isn't just a creature of nightmare, she is a symbol of betrayal, of deception hiding in plain sight. She reminds people to look closely, to listen carefully, to understand that sometimes, not everyone is who they seem. And when a young child glances nervously out the window on a quiet night, a mother or father will share the story of the Manananggal, a tale both frightening and comforting, teaching children that there is safety in family, in light, in community. In these same villages, the Tikbalang also finds his place in the shadows of the night. Unlike the Tikbalang of Luzon, who plays tricks and guides people astray, the Visayan Tikbalang is often more mysterious and subtle in his ways, a silent guardian of the forests, a figure respected and sometimes feared. Some say he only appears to those who forget to ask permission of the forest before entering. Farmers and travelers speak of moments when the forest suddenly feels dense and unfamiliar, when paths twist and change as if by magic. Those who encounter the Tikbalang in these moments describe a figure with the head of a horse, his eyes dark and ancient. To escape his tricks, they turn their shirts inside out, muttering apologies to the unseen. In these encounters, the Tikbalang teaches humility, urging the people to walk softly, to understand that not every path is theirs to tread without reverence. Coastal villages in the Visayas also tell of the Sigbin, a creature known to lurk in the shadows, waiting in silence. Said to resemble a dark, hunched figure with large ears and backward feet, the Sigbin roams on moonless nights, moving with eerie speed. Those who have heard its soft, whispering calls say it chills the air, sending shivers through the bravest hearts. While many fear the Sigbin, they also respect its place in the balance of things. To the people, the Sigbin represents the fear of the unknown, the unease that comes from what we cannot see or explain. And while the Sigbin is feared, the people of the Visayas also tell their children that courage is born from facing these fears, that by respecting the mysteries of the night, they walk with strength, not fear. In every corner of the Visayas, the tales of these spirits come alive through unique practices, small rituals passed down with love and care. Elders, wise with years, teach that respect is not just for each other but for the unseen, for the spirits that share the land. Many homes keep an offering corner, a small space for candles, flowers, and food, given in gratitude to the spirits for their protection. During festivals, entire villages light candles and prepare feasts, setting out offerings to ensure peace and harmony between the living and the spirit world. These rituals, these simple acts of kindness and respect, become a way of life, a silent bridge that connects the people to the spirits of old. In the Visayas, another story that echoes through the islands is that of the Tamawo, a spirit known for his beauty and charm, yet one that guards his world fiercely. The Tamawo, often described as tall and pale with piercing eyes, is said to live in places hidden from human view, forests and mountains rich with beauty. Stories tell of travelers who find themselves in strange, beautiful places, lost in a trance until they suddenly awaken far from where they started. Those who are kind, who enter the forests with open hearts, may catch a glimpse of the Tamawo's world, a fleeting beauty, a moment of awe. But those who harm the land, who enter with greed or arrogance, risk the Tamawo's wrath. The tale of the Tamawo teaches the people of the Visayas to walk with reverence, to honor beauty in all its forms, and to understand that true beauty requires respect, not conquest. Throughout the Visayas, these creatures are woven into the very way of life, each story shared around fires and whispered under starlit skies. These myths are more than tales, they are guides, reminders that life is filled with wonders that cannot always be explained. Children grow up listening to these stories, learning to honor the land and the spirits who dwell within it, to offer kindness and respect even to those they cannot see. In times of trouble, these tales become sources of strength, the spirits' reminders that they are never alone, that the world is full of invisible guardians who walk with them. And as long as the people remember, as long as they share these stories with wonder and reverence, the spirits of the Visayas will remain alive, breathing through every ritual, every whispered prayer, every act of kindness offered to the unknown. They live on, binding the people of the Visayas to their land, to each other, and to the ancient spirits who guide them, unseen but always felt, their presence as real and lasting as the islands themselves. In the heart of Mindanao, beneath towering mountains and amidst forests that have stood for centuries, there are stories whispered by the wind, tales of beings that live just beyond the reach of sight. These beings, part of the island's folklore, are more than ancient myths. They are felt in the stillness of night, in the quiet respect of the people, and the hush that falls over villages as darkness descends. Here, in the southern Philippines, tradition and spirit intertwine to create a world where the unseen feels as real as the land itself. The Sigbin, a creature spoken of with both fear and respect, is known to lurk in the quiet corners of Mindanao. Those who claim to have seen it describe a figure with long, pointed ears, backward feet, and a hunched gait that is both eerie and silent. Villagers speak of hearing its faint, whispery footsteps in the dead of night, a sound that sends shivers down the spine. The Sigbin is said to emerge during Holy Week, a time of heightened reverence and caution. To some, it is an omen, a reminder of life's fragility. Others believe it serves as a protector, warding off those who might bring harm to the land. There are countless tales of the Sigbin's mysterious powers. It is said to carry with it an amulet that grants protection to those it favors, though few are brave enough to seek it out. In the villages, parents share these stories with their children, not to frighten but to teach a respect for the unknown. The Sigbin is more than a warning. It is a reminder to tread carefully, to remember that life's mysteries hold more than we may ever fully understand. Another being deeply woven into the fabric of Mindanao's stories is the Duwend, small and often mischievous creatures who dwell in mounds of earth, hidden among the roots of ancient trees or beneath old, weathered rocks. Some say they are guardians of the earth, protectors of the land who bless those who honor them with kindness and humility. Farmers tread softly, knowing the Duwend are nearby, quick to repay disrespect with illness or misfortune. But when treated well, the Duwend bring good fortune, helping crops to grow, ensuring the health of the family, and bringing peace to the home. Mindanao is home to a rich mix of indigenous and Islamic traditions, and the Duwend stories are deeply intertwined with this cultural blend. Many people speak of them with reverence, leaving offerings of food and flowers at small altars near their homes or in the fields as signs of respect. This practice is carried out not in fear, but in gratitude, a small gesture to honor the unseen forces believed to guide and protect daily life. And as children learn these customs, they come to understand that kindness and respect extend beyond the visible, that in every rock, every tree, there may be a spirit watching, waiting, grateful for the love it has shown. The influence of Islamic tradition in Mindanao has also woven beautiful and unique colors into the fabric of these myths. One such tale is of the Sirena, a legendary bird adorned with vibrant, intricate feathers and a long flowing tail. For the Maranao people, the Sirena is a sacred symbol, one that represents peace, prosperity, and the blessings of the divine. It is said to soar high above, bringing good fortune to those who respect its beauty, a reminder of the bond between people and the divine. In many homes, the Sirena is depicted as art, in carvings, paintings, and textiles, a bright and beautiful symbol of unity and harmony with the natural and spiritual world. It reminds people of their connection to the divine, a link that goes beyond words, seen in the colors of nature, in the sunrise over Lake Lanao, and the gentle touch of a breeze through the fields. To the Maranao, the Sirena is a symbol of hope and beauty, a reminder that even in a world of shadows, there is light, a gentle and eternal presence guiding them forward. The spirits of Mindanao are also embodied in the tales of the Busa, fierce and often terrifying beings who dwell in the darkest forests, rarely seen but always felt. These spirits are said to be drawn to places of conflict and suffering, feeding off human pain and fear. But they are not just tales of horror, they serve as powerful symbols of human emotions, the darkness that can live within, and the strength required to overcome it. For those who hear the stories of the Busa, there is a lesson hidden within the fear, a reminder that resilience and courage are needed to face not just the supernatural, but life's many challenges. In Mindanao, these beings are as much a part of life as the mountains and rivers. The spirits are spoken of in daily rituals, from the blessing of homes to the offerings left in fields, small acts of remembrance that bind the people to their land and to the traditions of their ancestors. These beings, with all their beauty, mystery, and sometimes fear, are reminders that life is woven from threads both seen and unseen, each story a way to connect the present to the past. Even today, the people of Mindanao continue to honor these spirits in quiet, meaningful ways. During festivals, prayers are offered to both the visible and invisible, a gesture of gratitude for protection and peace. And in these gestures, these whispered words and heartfelt acts, the spirits live on, not merely as figures in stories, but as part of the daily life and identity of the people. The beauty of these tales lies in their ability to unite generations, to give children a sense of awe, of respect for the land and those who came before. They remind people that even in a world of modernity and change, there are timeless things, invisible yet powerful, that shape who they are and where they come from. And as long as the stories of the Sigbin, Duwind, Saramanik, and Busaw are remembered, as long as offerings are made and respect is shown, the spirits of Mindanao will remain close, silent protectors of the land, watching over it with the same devotion that has been given to them for centuries. On quiet, starlit nights in the Philippines, when the wind rustles through ancient trees, there's a presence felt more than seen, a silent guardian of the forests. He is the copper, the towering, tree-bound spirit with eyes that glow like embers in the dark. Some say he watches over those who enter his domain, others claim he waits in shadows, powerful and mysterious. To many, he is a figure of quiet strength, embodying the soul of the wild forests he calls home. The copper's image is unforgettable, a giant, with rough skin like the bark of an old tree, eyes that burn in the night, and the ever-present glow of a cigar between his lips. Legend has it that he sits perched in branches of towering bolete trees or ancient acacias, watching all who pass beneath. His cigar never fades, a slow, steady ember in the night, a signal that he is near. People who wander too far into his forest without showing respect may feel his gaze upon them, heavy and watchful. And those who ignore the quiet signs may find themselves lost, paths twisting and turning as if enchanted, until the wanderer finally whispers an apology and promises respect. The copper is often depicted as both fearsome and protective. His stories are passed down with an air of caution, teaching people to tread gently through the forests. Children growing up in rural areas are warned not to climb or disturb the old trees, especially those that stand alone, for the copper might be resting there. And while he is seen as a creature of power, he is not necessarily one to be feared. He is a being of respect, reminding people to honor the trees, the earth, and the age-old paths that connect them to the land. Elders tell tales of travelers who were lost in the woods, but were guided back to the path by the scent of tobacco smoke, a subtle sign that the copper had decided to help them. Sometimes, however, his mood is darker. There are stories of those who mocked the copper, who laughed at the unseen spirit or showed disrespect in his domain. These tales speak of strange events, whispers in the night, shadows moving just out of sight, or even the chill of a sudden wind carrying the unmistakable smell of burning leaves. It is said that those who anger him might hear his footsteps in the night, heavy and deliberate, until they find their way out, heart-pounding, grateful to leave his forest unscathed. Despite these fearful tales, the copper is not only a figure of terror. He is known, too, for his strange kindness. In rural villages, people share stories of those who found treasures at the base of ancient trees, gifts left by the copper as tokens of favor or gratitude. People believe that when someone shows great kindness to the land or helps protect the trees, the copper may reward them in his quiet, unspoken way. To those he favors, he is a guardian, and his presence brings peace rather than fear. There are even stories of children, lost in the forest and crying for their families, who followed the glow of a cigar through the darkened woods until they found their way home. In modern culture, the copper has taken on new life, his image used in films, television, and art. He is often portrayed as a complex being, his shadowed presence both frightening and wise, a reminder of the wildness that lies just beyond the edges of the city. People are drawn to his story because he represents something that feels lost to many, a connection to nature, to ancient traditions, and to the unseen forces that shape the world. Artists and filmmakers have portrayed him as everything from a solitary, tragic figure to a fierce protector of the environment, standing guard over the forests that are slowly disappearing. But no matter how he is portrayed, the copper remains a powerful figure, a reminder that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. He is a spirit of the land, a guardian of trees that have lived longer than human memory, and as long as people speak of him, he will remain. Whether in the silent forests of rural villages or in the imagination of city dwellers, the copper stands tall, an ancient giant watching over the world, his ember glowing softly in the night. On moonless nights, a hush falls over small villages in the Philippines. Doors are bolted, windows latched tight, and children are told to stay close, for out there, somewhere in the dark skies, the manananggal lurks. She is a creature spoken of in whispers, a figure of dread and fascination, a woman by day, but by night, she becomes something fearsome and unearthly. The manananggal, whose name means to remove in Tagalog, can separate her upper body from her legs, sprouting bat-like wings and taking to the sky in search of prey. This creature's origins are as mysterious as they are chilling. Legends say the manananggal was once an ordinary woman, but through a pact or curse, she gained dark powers that transformed her into a creature of the night. Some stories tell of women driven by vengeance or sorrow, seeking retribution against the world that wronged them. Others say that a single taste of a particular root, a dark, bitter herb, can turn a person into a manananggal, cursed to roam the earth forever in search of human flesh. But unlike other monsters, she carries a haunting trace of humanity, a life left behind, a yearning perhaps to break free from the curse. Villagers believe the manananggal's preferred prey are those most vulnerable, the unborn, the sick, or the lonely. Pregnant women are often warned to carry salt, garlic, and sharp objects, as it is said that the manananggal is drawn to the scent of life blooming within. During the darkest hours, when the village is silent, she hovers close to rooftops, her sharp tongue snaking down through thatched roofs, hunting with a sinister patience. Those who have heard her describe an eerie tick-tick sound that grows louder as she nears and fainter as she draws away. This sound haunts the memories of those who have encountered her, a reminder of the shadows lurking just beyond the safety of home. There are many versions of the manananggal, each as terrifying as the last. In some tales, she possesses the power to mesmerize her prey, luring them into a dreamlike state. In others, she has an aversion to vinegar, ginger, or salt. The methods of protection vary from region to region, each community adding its own touch of fear and reverence to the creature. In some regions, it is believed that the only way to defeat a manananggal is to find her lower half, abandoned in a hidden spot, vulnerable. A mixture of salt, garlic, and ash can be spread over her legs, rendering her powerless, unable to reunite her body by sunrise. This creature's image has left an indelible mark on Filipino culture, a symbol of danger, mystery, and the struggle between human nature and dark urges. The manananggal's ability to split herself in two mirrors the duality of life itself, the everyday face of normalcy, and the hidden, darker nature that lurks within us all. She represents the things we cannot always see, the side of humanity that struggles with pain, anger, and the desire to break free from the rules that bind us. But her story is also one of tragic isolation, a figure who wanders alone, cursed to live in shadow, feared by those she might once have called family. For generations, storytellers have used the manananggal as a powerful lesson in morality and caution. She warns of what can happen when desires are left unchecked, when grief turns to bitterness or love to obsession. In every story shared between parent and child, and every whispered warning to be cautious on dark nights, there is a message: be wary of those who seem one way but harbor darkness within. The manananggal, in all her fearsome horror, is a symbol that our greatest dangers can sometimes be those that look most like us. In modern times, her image has woven itself into art, literature, and popular media. She appears in films, novels, and even festivals, captivating new generations with her tragic allure. But no matter how she is depicted, the fear she brings remains the same. She is a warning, an enduring reminder of a curse that could fall on anyone, a fate too dark for even the bravest of hearts. Even now, some say that on quiet nights, if you listen closely, you might hear that faint tick-tick sound in the distance, a haunting echo of the manananggal's eternal flight through the night. When night falls over the dense forests and mist gathers on mountain paths, travelers are warned to watch for something strange. In the shadows, towering over the underbrush, lurks a creature with the body of a man and the head of a horse, its eyes gleaming with a knowing, unsettling intelligence. This is the Tikbalang, the horseman of Filipino legend, a being feared and respected for generations. He moves with silent power, his every step filled with a grace that's almost hypnotic, his hooves barely touching the ground. For those unlucky enough to cross his path, the Tikbalang may bring confusion and fear, for he has a power that few can withstand, the power to twist the paths of those who wander his domain, to play tricks on those who dare to intrude. Legends say that the Tikbalang lives deep in the forests, and places where the air grows thick with humidity and the trees form a canopy so dense that sunlight barely filters through. Some say he guards these sacred places, an unyielding presence who watches over the wilderness, a spirit bound to the land. Others believe he is a trickster, a mischievous creature who finds delight in leading people astray, causing them to circle back over and over on the same path until they're dizzy with confusion. And then there are those who claim that the Tikbalang is simply a mystery of the forest, a spirit with motives as complex and unknown as the shadows themselves. Travelers share tales of being led astray by the Tikbalang's illusions, an experience that can leave even the bravest soul trembling. People speak of walking along familiar trails only to find themselves back at the starting point, as if the forest itself had twisted in on them. Some say they've seen the Tikbalang in the corner of their eye, just a flash, a tall figure with long, spindly limbs and that unmistakable, haunting face of a horse, staring from the edge of the trees. They tell of a strange, almost mocking laughter that echoes through the trees, as if the Tikbalang takes great joy in their confusion. The only way to escape his tricks, they say, is to wear your shirt inside out or to ask him for permission to pass, whispering an apology for disturbing his domain. Yet the Tikbalang isn't always portrayed as a creature of pure menace. In some regions, he is seen as a guardian, a spirit who protects the balance of the forest, keeping it safe from those who would exploit or destroy it. The Tikbalang watches over these places, ensuring that respect for the land is upheld. In this role, he is a reminder of nature's power and a warning to those who tread carelessly. There are stories of people who, instead of mocking or fearing him, choose to honor the Tikbalang, leaving offerings of tobacco, rice, or betel nut at the edge of the forest. To those who show respect, the Tikbalang may even be a guide, leading lost travelers back to the path rather than away from it. But there are darker stories too, tales that describe a Tikbalang driven by anger or resentment. It is said that some Tikbalang are spirits of those who died in violent ways, souls who could not find peace and instead became bound to the land in twisted, animalistic forms. These Tikbalang are said to be more vengeful, and their tricks are less harmless. They may even bring illness or misfortune to those who disrespect them, serving as both judge and punisher of those who wander too boldly into places where they do not belong. Despite the fear he inspires, the Tikbalang holds a special place in Filipino folklore, his image serving as both a warning and a symbol. He represents the wildness of nature, the forces that humans cannot control. He is a reminder of the unknown and the boundaries that people should respect. And he is also a symbol of the dual nature of life, sometimes frightening, sometimes protective, and always untamed. For generations, people have passed down his story, a tale woven with caution and respect, teaching young and old alike that some things are better left undisturbed, some paths better left unexplored. Even now, in modern times, the Tikbalang's image continues to resonate, capturing the imagination of artists, writers, and storytellers. He appears in movies, books, and festivals, his haunting presence reminding everyone that the old beliefs are still alive, still breathing. In these depictions, he may be shown as a fearsome figure of strength or as a tragic spirit bound to a fate beyond his control. Yet no matter how he is portrayed, his story remains the same, a story of mystery, of the wilderness, and of the power that lies in respecting forces older and greater than oneself. Those who venture out on foggy nights may still feel a chill when they walk too close to the trees, a shiver that speaks of an ancient fear. The Tikbalang is there, they say, watching, waiting, a timeless guardian of the unknown, his hooves silent on the forest floor, his eyes gleaming in the night. In the quiet corners of Filipino homes, where laughter fills the air and the scent of home-cooked meals wafts through the rooms, there is a lingering belief that mischievous beings share the space with families. These are the duwend, tiny dwarfs who are said to possess both kindness and a mischievous streak. From the moment children learn to walk, they hear stories of these little creatures, reminders that they are never truly alone, even in the safety of their own homes. Duwends are believed to be guardians of the household, often residing in gardens, under the stairs, or in any nook that seems to hold a bit of magic. They are usually depicted as small, stout beings, with big heads and exaggerated features. Their mischievous nature can bring both luck and trouble, depending on how they are treated. Many believe that these little spirits have a keen sense of fairness and justice, responding to the behavior of those around them. Kindness towards the duwend can result in blessings, while disrespect can lead to unexpected mischief. It's not uncommon for a child to find their favorite toy hidden away, or for an adult to stumble upon misplaced keys, all blamed on the playful nature of these elusive beings. Households often create little spaces for duwends, placing out offerings of rice, sweets, or fruit to appease them. In return, families hope for protection, good fortune, and an extra sprinkle of happiness in their lives. The idea of duwends is a beautiful blend of reverence and whimsy. When a child hears a strange rustling in the garden or feels a sudden chill, it's an opportunity for storytelling, igniting their imagination with tales of friendly dwarfs watching over them. However, tales of duwends are not merely innocent folklore, they carry important life lessons that resonate with every generation. Parents often use these stories to teach their children about respect and kindness. Be mindful of how you treat others, they say, for you never know who might be watching. This encourages empathy, urging children to understand that even the smallest beings deserve consideration and care. Stories of duwends often take on a darker tone when disrespect occurs. For instance, if someone fails to honor the duwend space, it is believed that they can become vengeful. They might pull small pranks, such as moving objects or making noises in the night. More severe consequences can manifest as minor illnesses or a string of bad luck, a sudden inability to find one's belongings, or unusual mishaps in daily tasks. These tales serve to remind everyone that balance is essential in relationships, even those with unseen spirits. In the rural areas of the Philippines, the belief in duwends is deeply rooted in daily life. Farmers and fishermen often offer thanks to the duwend for a good harvest or a fruitful day. They will whisper words of gratitude before starting their tasks, believing that their respect will be rewarded with abundance. Even in the hustle of city life, the lore of the duwend persists. Families will still pay homage to these little spirits, offering small tokens as a way to maintain harmony and ensure that luck remains on their side. The duwend also carry a sense of mystery that adds to their allure. Each region in the Philippines has its own variations of these creatures, with distinct characteristics and stories. In some areas, duwends are portrayed as wise, old beings with deep knowledge of the earth. In others, they might be depicted as youthful tricksters, eager to create chaos for their amusement. This diversity reflects the rich tapestry of Filipino culture, where local beliefs and stories merge, creating a vibrant landscape of mythical beings. One of the most charming aspects of the duwend legends is how they foster connection within families and communities. Grandparents often share tales of their encounters with duwends, instilling a sense of wonder in the younger generation. These stories are woven into the fabric of family gatherings, creating a shared bond that stretches across time. Every laugh, every surprised gasp at the mention of a duwend sighting becomes a thread that ties families together, nurturing a sense of belonging. The presence of duwends reminds us of the unseen forces that shape our lives, those little moments of luck and laughter that often go unnoticed. When the wind rustles the leaves or a child finds a penny on the ground, it can feel like a duwend's playful spirit is at work, nudging them toward joy. It's this connection to nature, to the spirit world, that fosters gratitude and a sense of wonder, teaching that there is magic in the everyday. As dusk settles in and families gather around the dinner table, laughter filling the air, the duwend remains a comforting presence, a reminder of the lightness of spirit and the joy of connection. The belief in these mischievous dwarfs continues to spark imagination, fostering respect for all beings, seen and unseen. In the hearts of many, the Duwende embodies the essence of Filipino culture, a blend of laughter, kindness, and the timeless wisdom that even the smallest of spirits can hold great significance in our lives. In every village across the Philippines, there exists a mound that holds stories older than the earth itself. These mounds, called punso, are often humble hills in the landscape, but to the people, they are sacred ground, watched over by a mysterious guardian known as the Nuno Sa Punso. This small, old man, often depicted as having a beard like moss and a crooked back, serves as the protector of the land, a keeper of ancient wisdom and a reminder of the respect owed to nature. Legends speak of the Nuno Sa Punso as a spirit of the earth, a being who has lived for centuries. It is said that he was once a man who lived in harmony with nature but transformed into a guardian due to his deep connection with the land. He is believed to inhabit the mounds, overseeing the balance of nature and the lives of those who dwell nearby. For many, these hills are not just hills, they are homes for the Nuno, where he watches over the fields and the forests, ensuring that everything thrives as it should. The Nuno Sa Punso serves as a powerful symbol of respect for nature. People believe that if someone were to disturb his mound, whether by digging, building, or even just stepping on it, they risk angering him. Such acts can bring misfortune or sickness, a warning that nature's balance must be preserved. It is common practice for families to offer small gifts, like rice, flowers, or a piece of food, at the base of the mound before any work begins nearby. This gesture of goodwill serves as an apology for any potential disturbance and a plea for the Nuno's protection and favor. Stories of the Nuno's power and influence are woven into the fabric of everyday life. For instance, there are tales of people who accidentally angered the Nuno by failing to ask for permission before starting their work. These individuals would find themselves plagued by bad luck, tools that break, crops that wither, or animals that go missing. In these moments, the villagers would gather to discuss the situation, and often, they would organize a small ritual to ask for forgiveness. They would light candles, offer food, and chant words of respect, hoping to appease the Nuno and restore balance to their lives. One particular story that warms the heart tells of a farmer named Pedro, who worked tirelessly in his fields. He had been struggling for years, his crops failing despite his best efforts. One day, while plowing his land, he inadvertently dug into a punso he had always thought was just a hill. The moment his plow hit the earth, he felt an unnatural chill run through him. His animals became restless, and he found it difficult to concentrate. Realizing he had disturbed the Nuno, he quickly sought the help of an elder in the village. The elder advised Pedro to make amends by offering rice and a small chicken at the mound. With a heavy heart, Pedro gathered the offerings and made his way to the punso. As he laid down the food, he whispered his apology, asking for forgiveness and for a chance to start anew. The air around him felt lighter, and as he left, he noticed the sky clearing, sunlight breaking through the clouds. From that day on, Pedro's crops began to flourish, and his luck turned. He often shared this story, teaching others about the importance of respecting the Nuno and the gifts that nature provides. The Nuno Sa Punso also embodies the values of community and connection. In many villages, children are taught from a young age to honor the mounds, passing down stories of the Nuno through generations. Families gather to share tales, fostering a sense of unity and belonging. On evenings when the stars shine bright, children sit with their grandparents, listening to stories that spark their imagination and instill respect for the natural world. These stories are not just entertainment, they serve as lessons, reminders of the harmony that must exist between humans and nature. The significance of the Nuno Sa Punso transcends individual beliefs. It reflects a collective consciousness that recognizes the power of the earth and the spirits that inhabit it. In modern times, as urbanization encroaches on rural landscapes, the legends of the Nuno become even more vital. They remind people to slow down, to reflect on their relationship with the land, and to remember the spirits that protect it. This ancient guardian encourages harmony, urging everyone to appreciate the beauty of their surroundings and to act with mindfulness. In some areas, festivals are held to honor the Nuno and the spirits of the land. Villagers come together to celebrate with dances, songs, and offerings, creating a lively atmosphere filled with joy and gratitude. These gatherings not only honor the Nuno but also strengthen the bonds within the community, fostering a sense of shared responsibility for the land they inhabit. Children dance and laugh, adults share stories and laughter, and for a moment, everyone is united in their respect for the Nuno sa Punso. The Nuno sa Punso stands as a bridge between the past and the present, connecting generations through tales of wisdom and respect. He is a reminder that we are all part of a larger story, one that encompasses the earth, its spirits, and our shared experiences. Through honoring the Nuno, families cultivate gratitude, respect, and a deep appreciation for the world around them. As dusk falls and the mounds become silhouettes against the fading light, whispers of the Nuno can be heard in the rustling leaves and the gentle breeze. The guardian watches over the land, a silent promise that nature will continue to thrive, and that as long as there are stories to tell and respect to be shown, the bond between humans and the spirit world will endure. The Nuno sa Punso, with his wise, gentle spirit, reminds everyone that they are never truly alone, and that every hill, every mound, carries the heart and soul of those who came before. In the shadowy corners of Mindanao, where dense jungles teem with life and the night air is thick with mystery, there roams a creature that sends shivers down the spines of those who hear its name, the Sigbin. This strange beast, said to resemble a hybrid of a goat and a dog, is not just a mere figment of imagination. It is a creature deeply embedded in the local lore, evoking both fear and fascination. Descriptions of the Sigbin often include long, pointed ears, a spine that arches in an unsettling way, and glowing red eyes that pierce the darkness. It is said to walk backward, its eerie gait making it even more unsettling. Legends about the Sigbin are as varied as the regions in which they are told. In some stories, it is portrayed as a guardian of treasure, lurking in the shadows to protect gold and riches hidden deep within the mountains. In others, it is a malevolent spirit, preying on unsuspecting travelers and bringing misfortune to those who dare to cross its path. Many locals caution that if you hear its distinctive sound, a strange, eerie cry, it means danger is near. The chilling noise is said to echo through the night, striking fear into the hearts of those who encounter it. For generations, parents have used tales of the Sigbin to teach children lessons about caution and respect for the natural world. Don't wander too far at night, they say, or the Sigbin might find you. These warnings create a sense of wonder, but also instill a healthy fear of the unknown. Children listen wide-eyed, their imaginations igniting as they picture the beast lurking just beyond the reach of the dim light. Even as they grow older, these stories leave an imprint, reminding them that the world is filled with mysteries waiting to be understood. In many families, the Sigbin is not just a creature of fear, it also serves as a symbol of protection. There are tales of brave hunters who, after encountering the Sigbin, found themselves gifted with unexpected luck and prosperity. One legend tells of a young man named Berto who, while searching for food in the forest, stumbled upon a Sigbin guarding a hidden cave. Instead of fleeing, Berto stood still, respecting the creature and its domain. The Sigbin, recognizing his bravery, allowed him to gather food without harm. From that day on, Berto became a successful hunter, often sharing his bounty with others in his village. This story spreads hope, teaching that courage and respect can lead to unexpected rewards. The Sigbin is also woven into the fabric of community gatherings, where its tales are recounted with excitement and dramatic flair. During nights filled with laughter and camaraderie, villagers gather around fires, sharing stories that evoke both laughter and fear. These gatherings are not just for entertainment, they strengthen community bonds and preserve traditions that connect generations. As stories of the Sigbin are told, the listeners lean in, hearts racing, their imaginations carrying them into the wild depths of Mindanao's forests. Art and culture have embraced the Sigbin as well. In local crafts, the creature is depicted in various forms, from paintings to sculptures, capturing its essence and adding to its mystique. Artists use the Sigbin to convey not only the fear it invokes, but also the beauty of the rich folklore that surrounds it. This blend of fear and artistry allows the Sigbin to take on a new life, as its image becomes a part of cultural expression. It is a testament to how local legends can inspire creativity, transforming fear into beauty. As the night deepens and the moon casts a silvery glow over the land, the legend of the Sigbin continues to thrive. The jungle, alive with the sounds of chirping crickets and rustling leaves, whispers its secrets, reminding all who listen that there is magic in the unknown. Elders often remind the young ones of the Sigbin, urging them to respect the stories, for they hold wisdom passed down through the ages. The tales encourage respect for nature, a reminder that the world holds more than what can be seen and that some mysteries are best approached with an open heart and mind. For many, the Sigbin is a creature that embodies the spirit of Mindanao itself, wild, mysterious, and deeply rooted in the culture of its people. Its presence in local folklore serves as a bridge between generations, reminding everyone of the importance of storytelling and keeping traditions alive. Through the Sigbin, families bond, fears are shared, and wisdom is imparted, creating a rich tapestry of life that celebrates both the beauty and the terror of the natural world. In this way, the Sigbin stands as more than just a strange beast. It is a symbol of the intricate relationship between humans and the wild. It embodies the respect that the people of Mindanao have for their environment, recognizing that every creature, no matter how fearsome, plays a role in the balance of life. The legends surrounding the Sigbin inspire a deep connection to the land, reminding everyone that even in the face of fear, there is beauty to be found. The stories of this enigmatic creature continue to echo through the mountains and forests, ensuring that its spirit lives on in the hearts of those who hear its tale. In the stillness of the night, when the moon casts its gentle light over the landscape, a haunting sound can sometimes be heard, a soft, sorrowful wail that echoes through the air. This is the cry of the Tiyanak, a spirit that takes the form of a small baby, luring the unsuspecting with its innocent appearance. To those who do not know better, it may seem like a lost child, desperately calling for help. But beneath that facade lies a vengeful spirit with a tragic story, making it one of the most chilling figures in Filipino folklore. Legends tell that the Tiyanak was once an unborn child whose mother died during childbirth or a baby abandoned by its parents. This spirit, filled with anger and sadness, was left to wander the earth, seeking revenge on those who wronged it. The Tiyanak is said to imitate the sound of a crying baby, drawing people closer with its plaintive cries. When someone approaches, believing they can help, the creature reveals its true nature, transforming into a horrifying figure with sharp teeth and glowing eyes, ready to attack. Stories of the Tiyanak have been passed down through generations, serving not only as warnings but also as lessons about the importance of compassion and responsibility. Many parents recount these tales to their children, teaching them the value of kindness toward others and the consequences of neglect. Never ignore the cries of a child, they say, for you never know who, or what, may be in need of help. Such stories stir the heart, prompting children to think twice before dismissing someone in distress. One particularly moving tale involves a young girl named Maria who was known for her kindness. She would often help the villagers by caring for their children and bringing food to those in need. One evening, while walking home from the market, Maria heard the faint sound of a baby crying in the distance. Concerned, she followed the sound, thinking she might find an abandoned child. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the cries grew louder, filled with desperation and sorrow. Her heart raced as she rushed toward the sound, eager to help. But as she neared the source, she began to feel a chill in the air. Suddenly, the innocent cries transformed into a menacing laughter, and the Tiyanak appeared before her. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light, and its form shifted from that of a baby to a monstrous creature, revealing its true intent. But Maria, knowing the value of kindness and compassion, did not run away in fear. Instead, she spoke softly to the Tiyanak, acknowledging its pain. "Why do you cry, little one?" she asked, her voice steady despite the terror surrounding her. The Tiyanak paused, its monstrous form flickering for a moment as if surprised by Maria's approach. She continued, "You are not alone. I see your sorrow. You deserve love and care, just like any child." In that moment, the Tiyanak hesitated. Maria's words, filled with genuine compassion, reached the spirit's heart, causing it to reflect on its own painful past. The Tianak's anger began to fade, replaced by a deep sadness for the life it had never known. Slowly, it transformed back into the image of a helpless baby, its cries turning to soft whimpers. Maria, sensing the shift, knelt beside the spirit, offering comfort. "You are loved, even if you don't feel it," she whispered, holding the Tianak close. With her kindness, she had broken through the spirit's vengeance, showing it that love could heal even the deepest wounds. From that day on, the Tianak was no longer a source of fear. Instead, it became a guardian of the forest, watching over those who respected and cared for nature. Maria's bravery and compassion taught the villagers that even the most vengeful spirits could be softened with kindness and understanding. The stories of the Tianak resonate deeply within Filipino culture, highlighting moral lessons that transcend generations. They serve as reminders of the consequences of neglect, whether of children or the vulnerable in society. The Tianak embodies the pain of abandonment, making it essential for communities to support one another and care for their own. These tales evoke a range of emotions, from fear to compassion, creating a rich tapestry of meaning. The Tianak stands as a testament to the power of empathy, illustrating that even the most vengeful spirits can find solace in understanding. This profound connection to the heart of the spirit world encourages people to reflect on their own lives and the importance of kindness in their communities. As dusk falls and the wind whispers through the trees, stories of the Tianak continue to echo in the hearts of those who hear them. Each tale told reinforces the values of compassion, responsibility, and love. The chilling cries that once struck fear into the hearts of villagers now serve as a poignant reminder of the importance of caring for one another and recognizing the pain that others may carry. In the quiet corners of the night, the Tianak spirit lingers, urging everyone to listen closely and respond to those in need. Through understanding and compassion, the world can be a brighter place, where even the most vengeful spirits can find peace, and where the cries of the lost are met with love and hope. In the stillness of the night, when shadows stretch and silence blankets the world, a chill runs down the spine at the thought of the multo, the ghosts of the departed. These spirits, often seen as shadows flitting through the corners of one's vision, carry stories of the past, memories of love, and echoes of unfinished business. They are not just remnants of those who have passed away, they are poignant reminders of life, loss, and the ties that bind us to those we love. The multo takes on many forms in Filipino culture. Some appear as friendly spirits, looking out for their loved ones, while others embody the anguish of lives cut short or unresolved grievances. Many describe them as figures cloaked in white, often resembling a family member or friend, their faces soft yet tinged with sorrow. Others may present as more fearsome, their features twisted by rage or despair. Regardless of their appearance, they evoke a deep emotional response, reminding the living of the delicate balance between life and death. Legends speak of a young woman named Anna who lost her beloved grandfather. He was the heart of her family, a man filled with stories and wisdom, and his sudden passing left a void that felt insurmountable. Anna often felt his presence in the house, especially at night, when the walls seemed to whisper his name. She would sit in her room, thinking about all the lessons he taught her and the love they shared, feeling a bittersweet mix of grief and longing. One evening, while lying in bed, she was jolted awake by a soft rustling sound. With her heart racing, she sat up and saw a faint glow at the foot of her bed. It was her grandfather, bathed in a warm light, a gentle smile on his face. "Anna," he whispered, his voice echoing like a soft breeze. "I am here, my dear." Overwhelmed with emotion, she felt tears streaming down her cheeks. "Grandpa, I miss you so much." "Why did you have to go?" she cried. He reached out, and for a moment, it felt as if time stood still. In that brief moment, Anna was comforted by the presence of her beloved grandfather. He reassured her that he would always be with her, watching over her as she navigated the challenges of life. As the days turned into weeks, Anna learned to cope with her loss. She found solace in the memories they shared and began to honor her grandfather in her own way. She would set a small plate of food at the table for him during family dinners, believing that he could join them in spirit. Her family followed suit, lighting a candle in his memory every evening, sharing stories that made them laugh and cry. These rituals became a source of comfort, reminding them that love transcends the boundaries of life and death. But not all encounters with the Multo are gentle or kind. In contrast, some spirits carry pain that reflects their lives and their untimely deaths. There are tales of restless souls, those who suffered injustice or betrayal, who wander the earth seeking closure. These spirits are often associated with specific places, like old homes or battlefields, where they experienced their greatest sorrows. Their presence serves as a warning to the living, urging them to address their own emotional burdens before it is too late. In one village, an eerie legend surrounds the old church at the edge of town. It is said that a priest who dedicated his life to his congregation met a tragic end during a storm. His spirit, now a Multo, is believed to wander the grounds, searching for peace. Locals say that during stormy nights, a figure can be seen standing near the altar, his eyes filled with sorrow, his arms outstretched as if pleading for forgiveness. Many villagers who pass by feel an overwhelming sense of sadness, prompting them to pause and reflect on their own lives and the choices they make. These ghostly encounters evoke profound emotions, prompting individuals to confront their own grief, regrets, and responsibilities. The Multo becomes a mirror reflecting the state of the living, urging them to appreciate the present, mend broken relationships, and cherish the memories of those who have passed. In Filipino society, the significance of the Multo goes beyond mere superstition. It serves as a cultural touchstone, highlighting the importance of family ties, respect for ancestors, and the belief in the interconnectedness of life and death. Ghost stories are often shared during gatherings, allowing families to bond over their shared experiences with the supernatural. These stories evoke laughter, fear, and tears, creating a rich tapestry of tradition that reinforces community bonds. Many families take time during the Day of the Dead to honor their ancestors, decorating altars with photos, food, and flowers. This celebration is not just about mourning, but also about celebrating life and the enduring love that transcends even death. People believe that during this time, the Multo return to visit their families, sharing in the joy and sorrow of those they left behind. Through these encounters with the Multo, a sense of connection persists. The pain of losing a loved one is profound, yet the memories they leave behind are eternal. As families gather to remember, they find comfort in knowing that their departed loved ones are watching over them. The ghosts of the departed teach valuable lessons about empathy, forgiveness, and the importance of cherishing the moments we have with one another. In the quiet of the night, when shadows dance and whispers float through the air, the Multo continues to remind us of the love that binds us to those we have lost. They are not merely specters haunting the living, they are the echoes of our history, the spirits of our ancestors guiding us through life's journey. And as long as their stories are told, their memories will live on in the hearts of those they touched, inspiring generations to come to embrace love, honor their past, and face the future with hope. In the quiet corners of Philippine folklore, the Puget stands as a haunting figure, striking fear and awe in equal measure. The very thought of a headless entity sends shivers down the spine, and stories of its eerie presence have been whispered from generation to generation. The Puget, often depicted as a lost soul wandering the earth without its head, carries with it a weighty symbolism that reaches far beyond its frightening appearance. The origins of the Puget are shrouded in mystery, steeped in tales that echo the darkest parts of human experience. In various stories, the Puget is said to be a spirit of a person who met a gruesome end, beheaded by enemies, executed as a traitor, or even murdered in a fit of rage. The circumstances of their death leave them trapped between worlds, unable to find peace or closure. This headless ghost represents not just the physical loss of a head, but symbolizes a deeper emotional and psychological turmoil. Without its head, the Puget is often seen as a reflection of lives lived in despair, loss, and unfulfilled potential. Legends vary from region to region, but they often share a common thread of tragedy. In one tale, a fierce warrior who fought bravely in battle was betrayed by those he trusted. After being decapitated, his spirit could not rest. He now roams the forests at night, searching for the traitor who wronged him. Those who encounter the Pugit report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the very air around them thickens with the weight of his sorrow and rage. Children are often warned about the Pugit to keep them from wandering too far from home at night. The fear of meeting this headless entity keeps them close to their families, fostering a sense of safety within the warmth of their homes. They hear stories of how the Pugit can chase after anyone who strays too far into the woods, its ghostly figure looming, a haunting reminder of the dangers that lurk in the darkness. These tales instill caution, teaching the value of family and the importance of staying connected to one another. In another haunting story, a woman named Maria found herself drawn to the woods behind her village, where the trees whispered secrets and the moonlight painted the ground silver. She often visited this place, seeking solitude from the struggles of her life. One night, as she walked deeper into the forest, she stumbled upon a clearing where the air turned cold and heavy. A figure emerged from the shadows, the unmistakable form of the Pugit. Maria's heart raced as she felt the pull of despair that surrounded it. As the figure drew closer, she saw the sorrow etched into its features, despite its missing head. In that moment, she understood that the Pugit was not just a fearsome ghost, it was a symbol of grief and unresolved pain. Maria felt an overwhelming urge to help this lost soul find peace. Instead of fleeing in terror, she knelt in front of the Pugit and whispered words of comfort, acknowledging its suffering. To her surprise, the Pugit paused, and for the first time, its presence felt lighter, as if Maria's empathy cut through the darkness that enveloped it. In that moment of connection, Maria learned that the Pugit was not just a creature of horror but a reminder of the pain that exists in the world, urging the living to confront their own fears and sorrows. The symbolism of the Pugit extends beyond its frightening visage. It represents the struggles that many people face: loss, betrayal, and the longing for closure. The headless entity serves as a metaphor for individuals who feel lost in their own lives, disconnected from their true selves. Just as the Pugit roams without its head, many people wander through life, burdened by grief or unacknowledged pain, searching for a way to heal. In local culture, the Pugit embodies the idea that every story of loss carries a lesson. The fear of encountering this headless spirit serves to remind people to cherish their relationships and confront their emotions before it is too late. Families come together to share stories, not just of the Pugit but of their own struggles and triumphs, creating a tapestry of experiences that bind them closer. These tales are often recounted during gatherings, particularly around campfires where the flickering flames dance in rhythm with the heartbeats of those listening. As the night deepens, stories flow freely, each word a step deeper into understanding the complexities of life and death. The Pugit becomes a catalyst for conversation, prompting discussions about grief, forgiveness, and the importance of finding peace within oneself. The Pugit's presence is a reminder that even in darkness, there is a path to healing. As families share their fears and vulnerabilities, they find strength in one another. They learn that while loss is an inevitable part of life, love endures, guiding the living through the shadows. The Pugit teaches that acknowledging pain is the first step toward overcoming it. In this way, the Pugit serves not only as a figure of fear but also as a guardian of human emotions, urging everyone to confront their own struggles with honesty and courage. Its headless form challenges individuals to seek their true selves, to reclaim what has been lost, and to honor the memories of those who have passed. The Pugit becomes a powerful symbol of resilience, illustrating that from the depths of despair, one can find the strength to rise again. As the stories of the Pugit continue to echo through the valleys and hills of the Philippines, the essence of its legend lives on. It remains a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, a reminder that while we may face darkness, there is always hope for redemption, healing, and love. The Pugit, with its haunting presence, invites all who hear its tale to embrace their emotions, confront their fears, and cherish the connections that make life truly meaningful. In the heart of Philippine literature, mythical creatures come alive, weaving tales that captivate the imagination and stir the soul. These beings, both enchanting and terrifying, serve as mirrors reflecting the joys, fears, and dreams of the people. From the pages of ancient texts to contemporary novels, these creatures evoke emotions that resonate across generations, binding readers together through shared experiences and cultural heritage. The legends of mythical creatures are rich and vibrant, breathing life into the stories that have shaped Filipino identity. One can feel the pulse of the copper, a towering figure that lurks in the branches of giant trees, its laughter echoing through the night. In countless poems, the copper stands as a symbol of nature's power and mystery, embodying the spirit of the forest and reminding readers of the ancient relationship between humanity and the earth. This connection is often filled with awe and fear, as the copper can be both protector and predator, representing the duality of existence. Through verses that describe the copper's enormous stature and smoky presence, poets capture the essence of something both beautiful and daunting, awakening a sense of wonder in their readers. Then there's the manananggal, a creature that transforms into a winged entity, capable of separating its upper body from its lower half at night. Its stories resonate with themes of betrayal and the fragility of trust. In various works of literature, the manananggal serves as a metaphor for the hidden dangers and seemingly safe places. Writers weave narratives filled with suspense, drawing readers into a world where shadows dance with the promise of danger. The fear surrounding the manananggal transcends the supernatural. It speaks to the very real fears of abandonment and deception that dwell in the human heart. Each encounter with this creature in literature reveals a deeper understanding of vulnerability and the impact of emotional wounds, making the tales not just thrilling but deeply relatable. In children's literature, the duende often plays a role that sparks both fear and delight. These mischievous little beings can bring fortune or mischief, teaching children valuable lessons about respect and humility. In many stories, children learn to greet the duende when they encounter them in their homes or gardens, as failing to do so might invite their playful wrath. This simple yet profound lesson encourages young readers to acknowledge and respect the unseen forces around them, fostering a sense of connection to the world beyond the physical. As children turn the pages of these books, they are transported into a realm where every creak in the floorboard and whisper in the wind might be a sign of the duende at play. Poets often use the tiyanak as a haunting reminder of lost innocence. This vengeful spirit, taking the form of a crying baby, evokes a deep sense of sorrow. In moving verses, writers explore themes of grief, love, and the longing for what once was. The tiyanak is not merely a figure of horror, it symbolizes the pain of loss that many families face. As the stories unfold, readers are confronted with the bittersweet reality of life and death, where love lingers even in absence. This emotional depth makes the tiyanak a poignant subject in literature, connecting readers to their own experiences of heartache and longing. The tiyanak's cries, echoing in the night, remind one of sleepless nights spent worrying over a loved one, the sound weaving a thread of connection between past and present. Through these tales, the tiyanak serves as a vessel for collective grief, allowing readers to process their own emotions while resonating with the stories of others. In theater, mythical creatures often take center stage, transforming ancient tales into compelling performances. Plays that incorporate the Tikbalang, a half-horse, half-human being known for leading travelers astray, delve into themes of disorientation and self-discovery. Audiences are taken on a roller coaster of emotions, feeling the tension between fear and laughter as characters navigate the confusion brought on by the Tikbalang's tricks. These performances become communal experiences, drawing people together to reflect on the journey of life and the unforeseen paths one may take. One cannot ignore the impact of contemporary Filipino authors who have breathed new life into these mythical beings, incorporating them into modern narratives. In novels, these creatures often serve as powerful symbols of resilience and transformation. A story might feature a young girl discovering her heritage through the guidance of a wise Aswang, who teaches her about the strength of her ancestors. Such tales blend myth with reality, grounding fantastical elements in everyday experiences. Readers are drawn into these worlds, where the lines between the seen and unseen blur, encouraging them to confront their own identities and histories. Through every poem, story, and play featuring these mythical creatures, a thread of emotional truth binds them all. The fear, joy, sorrow, and triumph expressed in these works resonate deeply within the human experience. Each creature embodies a facet of life, both its beauty and its darkness, challenging readers to confront their own fears and hopes. The stories often reveal that while mythical beings may inhabit the realm of fantasy, the emotions they evoke are very real. Filipino literature, with its rich tapestry of mythical beings, captures the essence of a culture deeply rooted in tradition, while also embracing the complexities of modern life. These tales remind us that even in the face of fear and uncertainty, there exists a profound sense of connection among people. As readers turn the pages filled with wonder and dread, they are not just consuming stories, they are engaging with the very fabric of their cultural identity. The mythical creatures of the Philippines continue to inspire, entertain, and provoke thought, inviting readers to reflect on their own lives through the lens of folklore. Each tale serves as a reminder that while the supernatural may be fantastical, the emotions they evoke are grounded in reality, resonating through time and space. The magic of these stories lies not just in the creatures themselves, but in the shared human experience they reflect, a dance between fear and love, loss and hope, reminding us all of the power of storytelling. The flickering light of the television screen or the glow of a movie theater can transport viewers to extraordinary worlds, and in the Philippines, the rich tapestry of mythical creatures has found a captivating place in film and television. These stories, steeped in tradition, resonate with audiences on emotional levels, bringing age-old legends to life in ways that spark both awe and nostalgia. As the camera rolls, the mythical beings step off the pages of folklore, becoming more than just tales. They become symbols of cultural identity, values, and the complexity of the human experience. When the copper appears on screen, it towers majestically over the landscape, its massive form shrouded in swirling smoke and shadows. Audiences feel a chill run down their spines, a blend of fear and fascination coursing through them. In many adaptations, the copper is portrayed as both protector and menace. This duality resonates deeply, echoing the human experience of grappling with the unknown. The copper embodies the fears that lurk in the darkness, but also the hope that exists in the heart of the forest. As it watches over its territory, one can't help but feel a mix of reverence and trepidation, reminding viewers of the delicate balance between nature and humanity. The Manananggal takes on a haunting presence in films, her story told with chilling artistry. As she detaches her upper body and flies into the night, the heart races, and fear grips the viewer. These portrayals often delve into the creature's tragic backstory, revealing the loneliness and heartbreak that transformed her into a monster. By weaving in themes of betrayal and lost love, the filmmakers create a narrative that resonates on a deeply emotional level. Audiences are invited to explore the depths of her sorrow, and as they witness her transformation, they are faced with their own vulnerabilities. This exploration of the Manananggal's duality, the monster and the woman, challenges viewers to consider the complexities of their own lives, where pain can lead to destructive paths. In more lighthearted portrayals, the Duwind is depicted as a whimsical yet mischievous character, bringing laughter and joy to the screen. Often, stories show children discovering these tiny creatures in their homes or gardens, leading to comedic adventures filled with lessons about kindness and respect for the unseen forces in the world. The Duwind serves as a bridge between reality and fantasy, reminding viewers of the innocence of childhood. The laughter shared during these moments becomes a thread connecting generations, as parents recall their own experiences and pass down tales of the playful Duwind to their children. The warmth of these stories creates a sense of belonging, igniting nostalgia for simpler times when imagination knew no bounds. Television series that feature the Tiyanak often explore deeper themes of love and loss, intertwining the vengeful spirit with stories of familial bonds. The emotional weight of a mother's grief becomes palpable as the Tiyanak is portrayed not just as a monster, but as a representation of the pain that follows loss. The audience witnesses the heartbreaking cries of the spirit, evoking tears and stirring memories of loved ones who are no longer present. These narratives resonate powerfully, reminding viewers of their own experiences with loss and the longing for connection. The Tiyanak's sorrowful existence reflects a universal truth that love endures beyond death, leaving behind echoes of what once was. The Tikbalang, with its half-horse, half-human form, often takes center stage in comedic films. The playful antics of this creature lead to uproarious moments, causing characters to question their own reality. Yet, beneath the laughter lies a layer of meaning. The Tikbalang is a trickster, reflecting the unpredictable nature of life itself. Characters caught in its games are often forced to confront their own choices and the consequences that follow. This exploration encourages audiences to embrace the unpredictability of their own journeys, learning to laugh even when faced with uncertainty. The Tikbalang teaches that while life can be full of surprises, it is how we respond to those surprises that shapes our story. Film adaptations of Filipino myths have also sparked interest in the deeper, often darker aspects of these creatures. The Puget, the headless entity, is portrayed with chilling intensity, exploring themes of vengeance and injustice. Audiences shudder as the Puget wanders through the night, a symbol of unresolved pain and anger. These stories remind viewers that unresolved issues from the past can manifest in haunting ways, urging them to confront their own struggles. The Puget serves as a warning that ignoring one's demons can lead to chaos and destruction. Yet, through these narratives, there is hope for healing, as characters embark on journeys of reconciliation and self-discovery. The rich variety of representations of mythical creatures in film and television reveals the flexibility of these legends. Modern interpretations breathe new life into ancient stories, allowing filmmakers to address contemporary issues through the lens of folklore. The creatures serve as metaphors for societal challenges, enabling audiences to engage with complex themes in an accessible manner. Filipino filmmakers have embraced these narratives, presenting them in ways that resonate with both local and international audiences. The vibrant colors, striking visuals, and powerful performances pull viewers into a world where fantasy and reality intertwine. Each mythical being becomes a conduit for exploring the human experience, bringing forth emotions that span from joy to despair. The stories speak to the heart, urging viewers to reflect on their own lives, their cultures, and their connections to those around them. As these tales unfold on screen, audiences experience a blend of nostalgia and modernity. The cultural significance of these creatures shines through, inviting viewers to appreciate the rich history and heritage of the Philippines. The emotions evoked by these stories linger long after the credits roll, reminding everyone of the powerful bond between myth and reality. Through the lens of film and television, mythical creatures are not just relics of the past, they are vibrant symbols that continue to shape identities and inspire generations. In the end, the representation of mythical creatures in film and television is more than mere entertainment. It is a celebration of culture, memory, and the shared human experience. As viewers laugh, cry, and reflect on these stories, they are reminded of the power of storytelling to connect people across time and space. The mythical beings of the Philippines live on, not just in the shadows of folklore, but in the hearts of those who embrace the magic and lessons they impart. The sound of drums fills the air, echoing through the streets, as colorful lights dance in the night sky. People gather, excitement buzzing around them, each heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of the festivities. In the Philippines, festivals are not just celebrations, they are powerful expressions of culture, identity, and a deep connection to the mythical beings that inhabit the rich tapestry of Filipino folklore. Here, mythical creatures come alive, their stories woven into the fabric of each event, captivating hearts and igniting imaginations. As the sun sets, the festivities begin to unfold, showcasing the copper, the giant that watches over the forests. In one village, a towering figure draped in green leaves and twinkling lights appears, making the crowd gasp in awe. Children point with wide eyes, their imaginations ignited by the sight. Adults chuckle, remembering the stories they heard as children, tales of the copper lurking in the shadows, puffing smoke from its pipe, keeping watch over the trees. This representation of the copper reminds everyone that the spirit of nature still breathes in their lives, urging them to respect the earth and cherish its beauty. The villagers dance around the copper figure, chanting songs of gratitude and reverence, forming a bond between the creature and their community. In another part of the island, the Manananggal takes center stage during a vibrant celebration. The atmosphere is electric with energy as performers don elaborate costumes, their movements mimicking the fearsome creature that can separate its body at night to hunt. The portrayal is dramatic, filled with leaps and graceful spins that captivate the audience. As the Manananggal dances, the crowd feels a mix of fear and fascination, and whispers of its tragic story travel through the throngs of people. The performance tells of a woman scorned, a tale of love and loss that resonates deeply. The villagers use this moment to reflect on their own experiences, understanding that pain can transform, just like the Manananggal transformed from a woman to a monster. This emotional connection leaves everyone touched, sparking conversations long after the dance is over. The Tiyanak also plays a significant role in various festivals, with storytellers recounting its chilling tales by flickering candlelight. Families gather, listening intently as the narrator paints vivid pictures of the vengeful baby spirit, reminding everyone of the importance of honoring and remembering loved ones who have passed. These gatherings are not just about fear, they are also about love and remembrance. People reflect on their own relationships, the bonds that tie them to those who are gone. Tears may glisten in the corners of their eyes as they remember the moments shared with loved ones. Through the Tiyanak story, the festival becomes a space for healing and connection, bridging the gap between the living and the departed. In another celebration, the Tikbalang emerges from the shadows, charming and playful, inviting laughter and joy. Costumed performers prance about, engaging with the audience, teasing them with their antics. The Tikbalang is portrayed as a trickster, leading lost travelers astray but also guiding them back to safety. Its presence serves as a reminder that life is full of unexpected twists and turns. As children giggle and chase after the performers, parents join in the laughter, feeling a sense of nostalgia for their own childhood experiences. The Tikbalang teaches everyone to embrace the unexpected, to find joy even in confusion, reminding them that laughter can be found in the most unusual places. Throughout the year, various towns celebrate the Nuno Sa Punso, the guardian of the mounds. Festivals dedicated to this mythical figure showcase rituals that honor the earth and its hidden creatures. Villagers gather around mounds, offering flowers, fruits, and small tokens of appreciation. The atmosphere is filled with a sense of reverence as people share stories of encounters with the Nuno, often filled with humor and humility. These tales reinforce the idea that respect for nature and its guardians is vital for harmony in life. As prayers are offered, the crowd unites in gratitude, realizing that their connection to the earth is intertwined with the spirit of the Nuno. As the night progresses, the dance of the Duwend becomes a highlight of the festivities. With playful melodies and lively steps, performers embody these mischievous dwarfs, captivating children and adults alike. The laughter and joy radiate through the crowd, creating a sense of unity. In these moments, the Duwend transforms into a symbol of happiness, teaching everyone to cherish the simple pleasures in life. The stories shared during the dance encourage kindness and consideration for one another, fostering a spirit of community that lingers long after the festival ends. Children leave with smiles, their hearts lightened by the joyous encounter with the Duwend. Even in the presence of darker creatures like the Puget, the headless entity, festivals approach the subject with an element of respect and reflection. During certain gatherings, storytellers share the origins of the Puget, emphasizing the importance of confronting fears and the consequences of unresolved anger. As people listen, they realize that the Puget serves as a reminder to confront personal struggles, transforming fear into strength. The festival creates a space for discussions about grief, vengeance, and ultimately, healing. This transformation is powerful, turning a creature of horror into a lesson of resilience, encouraging people to face their challenges with courage. Amidst all the joyous celebrations, the spirit of community shines brightly. Festivals become a tapestry of shared experiences, weaving stories, laughter, and tears into a collective memory. The mythical creatures that appear during these gatherings serve not only as entertainment but as carriers of culture, echoing the values and beliefs that bind the community together. Every festival is a reminder of the intricate relationship between people and their myths. These creatures, steeped in history, become vessels through which cultural narratives are shared, lessons are learned, and identities are forged. They embody the fears, hopes, and dreams of generations, reminding everyone of the importance of their stories. Through the celebrations, people come to understand that their myths are not merely tales of the past, they are living, breathing entities that continue to shape their lives. As the festivities come to a close and the last notes of music fade into the night, the echoes of laughter and the whispers of ancient stories linger in the air. The mythical creatures of Filipino folklore, showcased in vibrant displays and heartfelt narratives, leave an indelible mark on the hearts of those who participated. These celebrations reinforce the belief that while the creatures may be fantastical, the emotions they evoke are very real. They connect everyone to their roots, their community, and the timeless tales that enrich their lives. The walls of galleries and the corners of homes are adorned with breathtaking art, each piece telling a story that transcends time. In the Philippines, art becomes a bridge connecting people to their rich mythology, where mythical creatures leap off the canvas and into the hearts of those who admire them. Each painting, sculpture, and craft holds the essence of Filipino folklore, invoking feelings of wonder, nostalgia, and a sense of belonging. As you step into a local gallery, the first piece to catch your eye is a vibrant painting of a copper. The giant, with its towering frame, is depicted lounging on a great tree, surrounded by swirling mist and glowing fireflies. The artist captures not only its size, but also the warmth in its eyes, reflecting the gentle spirit that watches over the forests. It's a portrayal that ignites childhood memories of whispered stories around flickering candlelight, where elders warn children to be respectful of the copper. The vivid colors and expressive brushstrokes draw you in, making you feel as though you are part of the scene, sharing a moment with the creature. This connection stirs something deep within, reminding everyone that respect for nature is a value worth holding dear. Next to it, another painting features the fearsome manananggal, its wings spread wide, ready to take flight under the full moon. The artist skillfully conveys the duality of this creature, beauty and terror intertwined. The contrast of the bright moonlight against the dark shadows gives the painting an ethereal quality. You can almost hear the whispers of caution from parents telling their children to stay indoors when dusk falls. The manananggal, often misunderstood, becomes a symbol of heartbreak and betrayal, evoking feelings of empathy. The artwork inspires conversations about love lost and the fragility of human emotions, allowing viewers to reflect on their own experiences while acknowledging the complexity of the creature's story. In another corner of the gallery, sculptures of Tikbalang stand proudly, crafted from woven rattan and intricately carved wood. These horseman hybrids, with their long limbs and mischievous grins, seem almost alive. They invite laughter and joy, reflecting the trickster spirit of the creature. Each curve and detail tells a story of playfulness, reminding everyone of the joy found in unexpected moments. The sculptures spark a sense of camaraderie among onlookers as they share tales of encounters with the Tikbalang. As laughter rings out, you can see how art not only preserves culture but also fosters connections among people, allowing them to relive moments of joy and wonder. As you stroll further, the sight of duend figurines catches your attention. These small, colorful dwarfs, often depicted in playful poses, carry the essence of mischief and good fortune. Each duend is unique, with vibrant colors and details that reflect the creativity of the artisans who crafted them. They bring smiles to faces, evoking memories of childhood tales where duends would help or hinder those who crossed their paths. Holding a duend figurine, you can't help but feel a tingle of excitement, as if the spirit of the little creature is cheering you on, reminding you to find joy in life's simple moments. Artisans across the Philippines take inspiration from the Nuno sa Punso, the guardian of the mounds. Beautifully crafted pottery and decorative pieces depict these earth spirits, each design telling stories of respect for nature and the land. The intricate details reflect a deep appreciation for the environment, reminding everyone of the importance of caring for the earth. Holding a piece of this art feels like holding a piece of the land itself, grounding you in your roots. As you admire the craftsmanship, you can almost hear the whispers of the Nuno, guiding you to cherish and protect the world around you. Even in the portrayal of darker figures like the Puget, art takes on a transformative role. Artists create hauntingly beautiful pieces that capture the essence of this headless entity, inviting reflection on loss and the journey of healing. The Puget's representation often elicits a mix of fear and fascination, compelling viewers to confront their own vulnerabilities. The artwork encourages conversations about grief and resilience, reminding everyone that even in darkness, there is hope for redemption and understanding. This ability of art to evoke complex emotions is a powerful testament to its role in connecting people to their own stories. Throughout the Philippines, literature also intertwines with art, bringing mythical creatures to life in various forms. Illustrations in children's books vividly depict the Tiyanak, drawing young readers into a world of magic and morality. These images spark curiosity and a sense of caution, teaching children valuable lessons about love, loss, and the importance of honoring those who have passed. The combination of captivating images and engaging stories becomes a cherished tradition passed down through generations. In communities, crafts inspired by mythology often come to life during festivals. Artists create masks, costumes, and decorative items representing the mythical beings of Filipino folklore. The preparations for these festivals become a community effort, bringing people together in celebration and creativity. As children help their parents paint colorful masks of Tikbalang or construct elaborate outfits for the Manananggal, they forge connections with their cultural heritage. This shared experience cultivates pride in their identity, reminding everyone that these mythical creatures are not just stories, they are integral parts of their lives. As you walk through art fairs and markets, the air is filled with the scent of fresh paint and the sound of laughter. Artisans passionately share their creations, recounting the stories behind each piece. Their eyes light up as they speak of the copper's watchful gaze or the duen's playful spirit. This connection between artist and creation is palpable, turning every piece into a testament to love and culture. Visitors leave with not just a piece of art, but a story, a memory that will resonate within them for years to come. The celebration of Filipino mythology through art creates a powerful sense of community. People gather to appreciate the craftsmanship, share their stories, and pass down their traditions. Each piece of art becomes a vessel, carrying the weight of history and the promise of the future. The mythical creatures, captured in paintings, sculptures, and crafts, breathe life into the memories of ancestors, reminding everyone that they are part of a larger story. In the end, art inspired by mythology is more than just decoration. It is a profound expression of identity, connection, and the human experience. Each brushstroke, each carved figure, and each crafted piece tells a story that resonates within the hearts of those who encounter them. The mythical creatures of Filipino folklore not only inhabit the art, but also live in the hearts of the people, nurturing a bond that transcends time. In this beautiful dance of creativity and culture, the legacy of these creatures continues to flourish, inspiring new generations to cherish their roots and celebrate the magic of their shared heritage. In the rich tapestry of Southeast Asia, mythical creatures weave together the cultural stories and traditions of each nation, creating a mosaic of shared beliefs and unique tales. As you listen to the legends, it becomes clear that these beings are not just figments of imagination but reflections of the human experience, embodying fears, aspirations, and moral lessons. Consider the Aswang from the Philippines, a creature often depicted as a beautiful woman by day and a terrifying monster by night. It haunts the dreams of those who hear the tales, with a reputation for preying on the weak and vulnerable. This legend resonates deeply within Filipino communities, echoing fears of loss and the fragility of life. The Aswang serves as a reminder to cherish loved ones and remain vigilant in the face of darkness. As you turn your gaze to neighboring countries, you discover that many cultures share similar mythical creatures, each with its own twist. For instance, in Indonesia, the Layak embodies a similar terror. Described as a sorceress with the ability to detach her head and fly through the night in search of blood, the Layak instills fear while also serving as a cautionary tale about the consequences of malevolent actions. The fear of being hunted by such beings creates a bond between people, fostering a sense of community as they gather to tell tales that warn and protect. Traveling to Thailand, you encounter the Kraju, a ghostly figure with a floating head and internal organs trailing behind her. She, too, embodies fear and serves as a warning against moral decay. The Kraju's story teaches about the dangers of selfishness and infidelity, reflecting the values held dear in Thai society. In each culture, these creatures are not merely frightening, they hold lessons about humanity, urging individuals to reflect on their actions and their impact on others. In Malaysia, the Pontianak tells a different but equally haunting story. This spirit of a woman who died during childbirth is said to seek revenge on those who wronged her in life. With long hair and a heart-wrenching wail, the Pontianak brings sorrow wherever she goes. Her tale resonates with themes of grief and the pain of lost motherhood, reminding listeners of the importance of compassion and understanding towards women facing hardship. The common threads that run through these stories create a sense of connection among Southeast Asian cultures. While the characters may differ in appearance and backstory, their essence remains similar. Each creature embodies the fears, hopes, and lessons of its people, forming a bridge that unites nations in shared values and beliefs. In Vietnam, the legend of the Malay echoes this sentiment. Known as the ghost of a woman who died in childbirth, the Malay seeks vengeance on those who disrespect her memory. Like the Pontianak, her story highlights the pain of loss and the importance of honoring those who have passed. These shared experiences, expressed through the lens of mythical beings, create an emotional landscape that transcends borders. As you wander through these interconnected narratives, the realization dawns that these creatures are not just for entertainment, they serve vital roles in society. They offer cautionary tales that help shape moral behavior, reinforce cultural values, and strengthen community ties. The fear and respect for these beings create a collective consciousness, binding individuals together through shared stories. The legends of the Philippines, with their unique characters like the Manananggal and Tikbalang, further enrich this landscape. The Manananggal, a vampire-like creature, has its counterpart in the legends of Malaysia and Indonesia, where similar beings take on different forms. These variations highlight the diverse ways cultures interpret the same fundamental fears and values. The beauty lies in the differences, yet the similarities create a profound sense of unity across the region. As these stories travel through generations, they evolve and adapt, reflecting the changing landscapes of society. The mythical creatures become vessels carrying the hopes and fears of the people, reminding everyone of their shared humanity. The laughter and tears interwoven in these tales bring communities closer, fostering empathy and understanding. In the art and literature of these nations, the portrayal of mythical creatures captures the imagination and stirs the soul. Artists illustrate the Aswang, Layak, and Pontianak with vibrant colors, giving life to their legends. Poets write verses that echo the fears and hopes embedded in these characters, breathing new life into age-old tales. This cultural exchange enriches the artistic landscape, inviting dialogue and connection among people across borders. The magical threads woven through the stories of Southeast Asia create a vibrant tapestry where every mythical creature is a symbol of shared heritage. As the Aswang prowls the night, the Kraju floats through the skies, and the Pontianak wails in sorrow, they remind everyone that while they may be from different lands, the emotions they evoke are universal. These stories serve as a testament to the human experience, filled with love, loss, fear, and hope. The conversations sparked by these tales encourage individuals to look beyond their borders and recognize the shared threads of culture that bind them together. In celebrating these mythical beings, communities foster understanding and respect for each other's stories, recognizing that every tale carries the weight of its people's history and values. As the sun sets and shadows lengthen, the echoes of laughter and stories shared in candlelit rooms remind everyone that, despite the darkness that sometimes looms, there is always light in the bonds formed through understanding and empathy. The mythical creatures of Southeast Asia, each with its own tale, unite people in a celebration of life, culture, and the enduring spirit of humanity. In the heart of the Philippines, where the mountains touch the sky and the waves whisper secrets to the shore, mythical creatures thrive in the imaginations of the people. The stories of these beings, like the Aswang, the Manananggal, and the Tikbalang, are not merely tales to frighten children, they play a vital role in shaping Filipino identity and influencing the collective psyche. Each creature carries a weight of meaning that touches the core of what it means to be Filipino, weaving lessons of morality, resilience, and community into the very fabric of society. As children grow up hearing these stories, their minds are filled with images of powerful beings that reflect their fears and dreams. The Aswang, often portrayed as a beautiful woman by day and a monstrous creature by night, teaches lessons about the duality of human nature. This fearsome figure embodies the struggle between good and evil, encouraging individuals to reflect on their own choices and the hidden darkness that can lurk beneath a friendly facade. This duality resonates deeply within the Filipino psyche, where the fight for survival and the desire to uphold family values are at the forefront of daily life. The manananggal, a creature that splits its body in half to hunt for prey, serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life. As the legend unfolds, it echoes the struggles of women, particularly mothers, who fight to protect their families while facing societal pressures. The emotional impact of this creature reaches into the hearts of many, illustrating the sacrifices made by mothers and the lengths to which they will go to keep their loved ones safe. In this way, the manananggal becomes a symbol of both fear and strength, mirroring the challenges faced by women in a rapidly changing world. These creatures inhabit the dreams and fears of the Filipino people, but they also inspire hope and resilience. The Tikbalang, a horseman hybrid that plays tricks on travelers, represents the unpredictability of life. It serves as a reminder to embrace the unexpected, to find joy in the journey, and to laugh in the face of adversity. The stories of the Tikbalang foster a sense of community as people share their experiences and strategies for navigating life's twists and turns. This shared understanding strengthens bonds among family and friends, creating a support system that reinforces Filipino identity. The legends of these mythical creatures extend beyond mere entertainment. They hold a mirror to society, reflecting its values, fears, and aspirations. As the narratives are passed down through generations, they evolve, but their core messages remain intact. They teach important life lessons about love, loss, betrayal, and redemption that resonate with every Filipino. This continuity of storytelling fosters a strong sense of cultural identity, grounding individuals in a shared history and heritage. Moreover, these creatures allow Filipinos to confront their fears in a safe space. By exploring the darker sides of humanity through folklore, individuals can grapple with their anxieties without real-world consequences. The Aswang and other entities embody fears of betrayal, loss, and societal judgment, allowing people to process their emotions. In the comfort of their homes, surrounded by family, they can laugh and shudder together at the thought of the Aswang lurking in the shadows, while also discussing the real issues that plague their lives. As the sun sets and the stories of the night come alive, the Philippines transforms. It becomes a place where children sit close to their parents, eyes wide with wonder, as the legends weave into their consciousness. Each tale contributes to a growing tapestry of identity, rich with emotion and shared experience. The impact of these stories extends beyond childhood, influencing how individuals view the world around them. In adulthood, these lessons take root and shape actions and decisions. The mythical beings become symbols of resilience, serving as reminders of the strength needed to overcome adversity. When faced with challenges, individuals may recall the cunning of the Tikbalang or the bravery of a mother fighting against the manananggal. These memories empower them, encouraging a proactive approach to life's difficulties. The psychological impact of these mythical creatures also resonates in Filipino art and literature, where they inspire countless works that explore themes of identity, culture, and human emotion. The stories become a shared language, spoken not just through words, but through paintings, dances, and performances that evoke the same awe and fear that the original tales did. Each artistic interpretation invites new conversations, allowing the legends to grow and evolve with each generation. Cultural festivals often celebrate these creatures, showcasing the rich heritage that continues to shape Filipino identity. During these events, people come together, honoring their ancestors while celebrating the stories that define them. The laughter, music, and dances create an atmosphere of unity and joy, reinforcing the ties that bind them as a community. The mythical beings, once feared, transform into beloved figures that bring people together in celebration of their shared history. Even in the face of modernity, where technology and globalization threaten to overshadow traditional beliefs, the impact of these creatures remains strong. The stories continue to be told, adapted for new audiences, ensuring that the heart of Filipino culture beats on. The resilience of these narratives speaks volumes about the power of mythology to shape identity and influence the psyche. As the world changes around them, Filipinos find solace in the timeless tales of their mythical creatures. These stories are more than just whispers in the dark. They are lifelines that connect individuals to their roots, reminding them of the strength and unity inherent in their shared culture. The psychological impact is profound, weaving a sense of belonging that nurtures the spirit and fosters pride in one's identity. Through the lens of mythology, Filipinos navigate their fears and dreams, exploring the complexities of life in a world that is both beautiful and terrifying. These creatures offer comfort, strength, and lessons that resonate deeply, forever intertwined with the very essence of what it means to be Filipino. The stories live on, echoing through generations, shaping hearts and minds as they continue to inspire hope, courage, and a sense of belonging. In the quiet corners of every Filipino home, where the walls are adorned with memories and laughter, stories are whispered from one generation to the next. These stories tell of mythical creatures that once roamed the earth, their names carrying the weight of tradition and history. As time passes, these myths evolve, shifting in meaning and form, mirroring the changes in society and culture. The essence of these tales holds a timeless power, yet the way they are told transforms, reflecting the hopes, fears, and dreams of the people. Once upon a time, children would gather around flickering lanterns, eyes wide with wonder, as elders spun tales of the Aswang and the Manananggal. The air was thick with suspense, and the stories were delivered with a blend of reverence and fear. In those moments, the mythical beings became real, casting shadows in the corners of their minds and igniting their imaginations. Each tale was a lesson, a warning, a way to instill values that guided the young through the trials of life. The Aswang, known for its shape-shifting abilities, was not just a monster lurking in the night. It was a reflection of the fears that families faced, betrayal, jealousy, and the darkness that could hide beneath the surface of even the most beloved. The fear of the Aswang taught children the importance of trust, loyalty, and caution. These stories held power, shaping the moral compass of entire communities. As time flowed, so did the stories. The oral traditions of yesteryear found their way into written forms, adapting to the rhythms of changing society. The way myths were shared began to shift with the advent of technology. Elders still shared tales, but now they could also be found in books, films, and online platforms, reaching audiences far and wide. The essence of the myths remained, but the style and medium transformed, making the stories accessible to younger generations who might not sit by the fire listening to their grandparents. With each retelling, the characters of these myths grew. They became more nuanced, reflecting the complexities of modern life. The Manananggal, once a fearsome creature of the night, was now depicted in a way that highlighted its struggle for acceptance. This evolution allowed for a deeper understanding of the character, transforming fear into empathy. The storytelling became less about instilling terror and more about exploring the human experience, prompting questions about what it means to be different and the challenges of societal judgment. As society progressed, the perception of these mythical beings shifted. Where once they were seen purely as cautionary figures, they began to embody resilience and strength. The Tikbalang, once a trickster that led travelers astray, became a symbol of adaptability. Tales of the Tikbalang began to focus on its cleverness, encouraging people to embrace life's challenges with humor and creativity. This change mirrored a society that was becoming more open-minded, willing to explore different perspectives and embrace diversity. In this evolution of storytelling, the heart of the myths remained intact, but the focus shifted. The creatures no longer solely represented fears, they now also illustrated aspirations. The stories inspired people to confront their own challenges, empowering them to navigate the complexities of life. The lessons learned from these beings grew richer, urging individuals to find strength in adversity and wisdom in their struggles. Cultural events and festivals continued to celebrate these mythical figures, but the narratives woven into the celebrations began to reflect contemporary issues. The stories of mythical creatures became platforms for discussing societal challenges, such as gender equality, environmental protection, and the importance of community. The Aswang and other beings took on new meanings, allowing people to engage in dialogue about their realities while honoring their heritage. The medium of storytelling expanded, too. Visual arts, theater, and digital platforms breathed new life into these myths. Artists created vibrant paintings, filmmakers brought the stories to screens, and musicians incorporated the essence of these creatures into their lyrics. This blend of old and new opened doors for fresh interpretations, inviting people to experience the magic of mythology in ways they never imagined. As the stories evolved, so did their impact on Filipino identity. They became a source of pride, a way to connect with roots while embracing the future. Each retelling preserved the core of the myths while allowing them to grow and change. The younger generations found resonance in these stories, connecting with the values and lessons while adding their own interpretations. They took the stories and made them their own, ensuring that the creatures lived on in a world that was rapidly transforming. In this dance between the past and the present, the myths served as anchors, reminding people of their history while inspiring them to dream of what could be. They connected individuals to their culture, fostering a sense of belonging and unity. The stories became a testament to resilience, showing that even in a world that constantly changes, the essence of who they are remains strong. As the night deepens and the stars shimmer above, the stories continue to be shared, each telling a thread in the vast tapestry of Filipino culture. Children still gather, just as generations before them did, leaning in closer, their hearts racing at the thrill of the unknown. The creatures may evolve, but the emotions they evoke, fear, courage, love, and hope, remain timeless. These myths are not merely remnants of the past, they are living stories that breathe and grow with each retelling. They reflect the human experience, capturing the joys and sorrows of life, and illustrating the delicate balance between fear and hope. As the tales pass from one heart to another, they weave a bond that connects the generations, a reminder that even as times change, the power of storytelling endures. In this way, the evolution of myths becomes a beautiful journey, one that honors the past while embracing the future, ensuring that the heartbeat of Filipino culture continues to resonate. As the sun sets over the Philippines, casting a warm glow on the lush landscapes, the whispers of ancient stories begin to fill the air once more. These are the tales of mythical creatures that have shaped the Filipino identity for generations. From the fearsome Aswang to the playful Tikbalang, these beings have woven themselves into the fabric of everyday life, embodying not just fear and caution, but also hope, resilience, and the spirit of the people. Their legacy is not merely a collection of eerie stories, it is a reflection of the culture, values, and emotions that define what it means to be Filipino. The relevance of these creatures today is undeniable. They are more than just characters in folklore, they are symbolic representations of the struggles, joys, and complexities of life. In a world filled with uncertainty, these mythical beings remind people of the importance of community, tradition, and moral lessons passed down through the ages. They serve as cautionary figures that help navigate life's challenges, guiding individuals through the twists and turns of modern existence. The stories of the Manananggal, who is often seen as a representation of betrayal and jealousy, resonate even in today's society where trust and loyalty are valued. While the tales remain rooted in tradition, the impact of modern technology and globalization cannot be ignored. The digital age has ushered in a wave of change, reshaping how these myths are shared and understood. Social media platforms, online videos, and digital storytelling have given rise to new interpretations of these ancient tales. The younger generation can now connect with their cultural heritage in ways that were previously unimaginable. They can watch animated versions of the Tiyanak or read graphic novels featuring the copper, allowing these beings to come alive in the modern world. Yet, with this technological advancement comes a challenge. As the world becomes more interconnected, there is a risk that the rich tapestry of Philippine mythology may fade. Global influences can dilute traditional beliefs, leading to a loss of the unique cultural narratives that have defined the Filipino experience. The stories, once told around cozy fires and shared in close-knit communities, may become just another piece of entertainment in an overwhelming digital landscape. In this age of rapid information, it is vital to strike a balance, celebrating the richness of these myths while also allowing them to evolve. The future of mythical creatures in Filipino culture holds both promise and uncertainty. As society continues to change, so too will the stories that have been cherished for centuries. These myths have always adapted, reflecting the realities of the time. They began as oral traditions, transitioned into written forms, and now find themselves in films and online content. The ability to adapt is what has kept them alive, and this resilience will likely shape their future. In the coming years, as Filipino identity continues to develop in response to globalization, the essence of these creatures may take on new meanings. They could become symbols of cultural pride, serving as a bridge between the past and the present. The Tikbalang, for instance, could evolve into a figure of empowerment, representing the struggles of the marginalized in contemporary society. Stories of the Aswang might highlight the importance of mental health, emphasizing how fear can manifest and be overcome. Educational institutions and community initiatives can play a crucial role in this evolution. By integrating mythology into school curriculums and cultural programs, children will learn the importance of their heritage while being encouraged to reinterpret these stories in their own ways. In this manner, the myths can thrive, passed down to future generations, not just as relics of the past, but as living narratives that resonate with their lives. As technology continues to develop, the potential for innovation in storytelling expands. Virtual reality experiences could allow individuals to step into the world of the Manananggal or the Duwende, experiencing the myths firsthand. This immersive engagement can foster a deeper connection to culture, sparking curiosity and admiration for the stories that have shaped the identity of a nation. The legacies of these mythical creatures remind Filipinos of their roots while also encouraging them to dream. They illustrate the complexities of life, from love and betrayal to courage and resilience. These beings may have originated in a time long past, but they continue to be relevant today. As people navigate the intricacies of modern life, the lessons embedded in these stories serve as a compass, guiding them through trials and tribulations. In this ever-changing landscape, the tales of the Copper, the Manananggal, and the Tiyanak will persist, evolving with society while remaining anchored in their cultural origins. They are reminders that even in the face of globalization and technological change, the spirit of the Filipino people remains vibrant and alive. The mythical creatures, rich with symbolism and meaning, will continue to inspire, challenge, and resonate within the hearts of all who encounter them. The stories are not just meant to entertain, they are threads woven into the very fabric of Filipino life. They reflect the dreams, fears, and aspirations of a people who have always found strength in their shared narratives. The legacy of these mythical creatures will endure, becoming a source of connection and pride for generations to come, echoing the whispers of the past while embracing the possibilities of the future. Each story told is a tribute to the resilience of culture, a celebration of identity, and a heartfelt reminder that the spirit of the Philippines lives on, strong and unwavering, through the magic of its myths.